I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause some pain, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up. Live it up on the attack, baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, I'll live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad. I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want. The gas in the bag, never left. She's so bad, can't hit the bag. The gas in the bag, never left. She's so bad, can't hit the bag. The gas in the bag, never left. She's so bad, can't hit the bag. The gas in the bag, never left. She's so bad, can't hit the bag. I'm inspired by thirst, I'm inspired by worth. I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never did shit, I know it hurts. Something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want. The gas in the bag, never left. She's so bad, can't hit the bag. The gas in the bag, never left. She's so bad, can't hit the bag.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're out in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
Welcome to the College Breakdown Show. I am Ray Cruz. I am your host. Dre Montez will be here momentarily. What you see on top of my head is a bet that we made with a viewer last week. He said he was sending 1,000 stars if I would wear one of Dre's visor with his wig on there. And there you go. I am wearing this thing all show long. So when that viewer comes on, he'll see it. He'll send us 1,000 stars. That's one way we make some money around here on the All Sports All Plays. Now, where you want to know what stars we're talking about? We're talking about this right here. You can support me, or you can support the All Sports All Plays Network, sending stars to each show. Stars will help us create money to make more content like this show here. It costs a lot. It costs money to put these things on. We're running our organization with our own money, and if you like this and you want to support us, send us some stars. That will help us keep us going and for future shows and future endeavors here at the All Sports All Plays Network. We are live on Roku TV. We're soon to be on Apple TV. We're soon to be on LG smart platforms. You can find us there. We're going to be on a lot more platforms here in the next couple months here. All Sports, All Plays is taking off. And if you want to keep us taking off, support us. Send us some stars for each show. If you like your show, whatever show you're on, if you like the show that you're watching, you send that show of stars. It will help the All Sports, All Plays Network and that show also. So get that out of the way here. My boy Dre will be on momentarily. And Dre just came up and says, "Hey, awesome. There you go, man. That is great." So soon Dre joins me here. We'll get to the thing here. We have some little bit of technical issue with my Facebook thing. I gotta create something now here so I can get back on. This was me. Yeah. So there we go. So let's see if I can get this code here. Trying to get my Facebook back up in here running. So that's going to be the question because something happened while we was transferring all stuff like this. So let's get this thing on the road here. Let's go to trying to get this. I guess this is the third report. I don't know. Okay. So let's see here if I can get this messenger. We're trying to get stuff going here. We did run a little bit of technical issues here. When Dre joins us, we'll get everything back up. All right, there we go. Got the messenger back up. So I had to get that up in case Dre needs something on that messenger here. So we're just waiting on Dre to show up. Dre says, "Here I'm come." Yeah, boy. Come on, boy. We got to get this. We get this show on the road here. We get this thing going here. When my boy Dre shows up, we get everything rolling here today. We got some big contests we got to talk about today. We got some big contests to talk about today. We're going to break down the number 2 Ohio State and Iowa just a few minutes here. Number 3 Tennessee goes against UT Martin at noon. These games are at noon. Number 14 ranked Syracuse against number 5 Clemson at Death Valley up in Clemson, South Carolina. That's at 12 o'clock on ABC. The UT Martin Tennessee game, you can find out on the SEC network. The number 2 Iowa at number 2 Ohio State, you can see that on Fox. Bring it up, number 21 Cincinnati at SMU. That's at 12 o'clock ESPN. Kansas at Baylor at 12 p.m. That's ESPN2. Indiana at Rutgers. That's on the Big Ten Network. You can see Houston at Navy. That's on the ESPNU if you want to watch that. Akron at Kent State. That's on ESPN Plus. Duke at Miami at 12:30. That's on ESPN3. And at 1 o'clock, Toledo at Buffalo. That's on ESPN Plus. Bowling Green at Central Michigan. That's ESPN3. Eastern Michigan at Ball State. That's ESPN Plus. Northern Illinois at Ohio. That's ESPN Plus. And UNLV at Notre Dame at 2:30. That's on NBC Peacock. And then we'll break out the rest of the games here momentarily. So as soon as Dre comes on, we're going to bring it back here. We're going to come back on the All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown Show. I am Ray Cruz. We're going to bring it back. Hopefully my host will be back on these commercial breaks here. And we'll bring you, we'll start breaking down the Iowa at number 2, Ohio State. Stay with us.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making up plays. We're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
What did you say?
I said Kobe Bean Bryant has been overrated ever since he passed away.
Now, I'd say they could lose about 4, but I don't see them losing 5. You know what I mean?
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
This is the Fox D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at foxdnetwork.com.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown Show. My man, the myth, the man with the magical hair, the man with the visor, the man they call the Gator Man is Dre Montez, my boy. Let's welcome to the show, my boy. Hey,
what's up, boss?
Hey, look, I look like you now, you know.
I see you, man. I see you.
Hey, people don't think I will do stuff like this, but I will.
He's
gotta support you, man. Gotta support you.
What a birthday present. What a birthday present.
There you go. Oh, yeah, that's right. It is your birthday today.
It is. Today is that day. Today is that day.
So how was your high school reunion?
Oh, it was magical, man. Sumner High School. Shout out to those guys. It was a blast. It was great weather. It was great seeing everyone. It was a really enjoyable Saturday to be followed up a week later by my birthday. Best week ever. Best week ever.
Yeah, I would give you a good birthday present, but this is the only one I could give you right now because last week your pick'ems didn't go so well. You know, there you go. That's your week, 22 and 26. Mine was 29-19. Yeah. And then
I do better today, Paul. I do better today. I tell you that.
And that's your overall record right there. 284 to 150 is yours. Mine's 310 to 124. So I'm pulling away a little bit like I did last year. So you know, you gotta come up with big. You gotta come up big today, bud.
I gotta have a day. They gotta be that birthday type day. I gotta have a college day like my NFL day was last week. I gotta do that.
That is true. But a big upset of Tennessee and Alabama last week. The field goal looked like it was going to be blocked. He got a piece of it, but it still went through. Goalpost is now missing at Tennessee. They did a Go Me Fund for goalposts. So today, will they have a goalpost at Volunteer Stadium for the University of Tennessee Martin at Tennessee today?
Oh yeah, they raised in 24 hours. They raised a little less than $150,000 in less than 24 hours. So they definitely chipped in the money. That's one of those things when the internet really knows how to work itself in the right way. After all they did, turn the goalpost down, taking it in the middle of downtown Knoxville and putting it in the Tennessee River was awesome. And nobody went to jail is the moral of that story, kids. Lesson learned.
Well, just to let you know, the cost of the repair is going to be anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. That's how much that's how much a goalpost costs.
Oh, they had more than enough money. They almost raised $150,000 less than 24 hours.
So I mean, that was the most funniest thing because they took that goalpost out of the stadium. I don't see how how they took it out of the stadium when unless somebody opened up that gate for them.
They had a plan. They had a plan. They had a plan.
Yeah, they mentioned on the ESPN today that the goalpost could be somewhere in Louisiana. By now going down the river.
Those turns.
But anyway, we're gonna start this game. We're gonna start this playoff here. We're gonna go with an uncontested game: defense versus offense. Iowa's defense versus Ohio State's offense here in Columbus today. Ohio State is favored by 29.5 points over Iowa. We know Iowa don't have no offense, but they have the defense. What kind of contrast of game we're gonna look for today in this ball game here?
Very slow-paced game because I still don't think CJ is up to 100% yet. So I'm going to watch how that pace is going with him to see how the offense is really moving, to see other parts of the mechanism move, such as the running game, take effect more than the passing game with Ohio State. But I think the defense itself is going to really hold face until about the end of the first quarter. And then we're going to see some smash mouth football put on by the Ohio State. But it's all based upon how CJ is feeling when it comes to throwing the ball. Are we comfortable? Are we tweaking a little bit? Are we all systems a go? Or should this one of those matters he should not have been playing? No way. They're playing a little media hype situation.
Yeah, this is when I talk about contrast of a football game, this is a contrast of a football game. Ohio State is averaging 48.8 a game. Iowa's offense is only averaging 14.7 a game, but Iowa's defense is only giving up 9.8 a game, and Ohio State's defense is only giving up 15.7 a game. So you got defense versus offense here, and which one can prevail? We know that Iowa hasn't won in Columbus forever. Is this today they break through, or does Ohio State stay serve and blow it out? Because I'm going to tell you what, you like the points over and under. This points over and under is 50. Is it going to stay under 50, or is it going to go over 50?
I'm thinking it's going to go under 50, but it's all based upon CJ's health. If CJ health has been fooled by everybody else, but Iowa knows the real story here, they're going to attack, and try to outplay the Ohio State very early in this game. Now, if they don't know what's going on at all, and CJ is himself for a little bit over 60%, okay, they're going to light it up. I'm going to stick with that 50 either way. But it's all based on how CJ is going to play this game. Going to manipulate us, or is he really fine?
Yeah, if you look at Iowa's last two games, they played in Michigan, and the score in that game was 27-14. And then they played Illinois, which they lost also, score was 9-6.
Yeah, they all know each other. There's no trickery with those matchups. They all know each other. There's no way you can pull the wool over anyone's eye in this matchup today. That's the great thing about it, as we get upon a rivalry week around some of these matchups today.
But if you go all the way back to the beginning of the season, they played Iowa State. They lost to them 10-7. They beat Nevada 27-0. They beat Rutgers 27-10. And then they lost to Michigan at 27-14 and 9-6. They lost to Illinois. They're 3-3, 1-2 in conference play. Ohio State, on the other contrast, they have scored 45 points against Arkansas State. They scored 77 points against Toledo. They scored 52 against Wisconsin. They scored 49 against Rutgers, and they scored 49 against Michigan State University last week. So is that trend going to continue here? We say it was going to go under. So, I mean, can Iowa have a way to keep this high-power offense of Ohio State at bay?
That's the thing. Iowa has a shot each and every time they play Michigan or Penn State. They always in position to take over the game, but they do harm to themselves and trying to do something they should not do. They get out of character some kind of way. For instance, if you're killing them at the running game, why would you go out there and do 3 passes in a row? You know,
Right.
you're wearing the defense down, you're tearing them down. I get what you're trying to do, but you got to be smart with that as well if you're going to try to win this game or do upset Saturday.
Yeah, and if you look at it this way too, CJ Stroud, he has been phenomenal so far this season, but this is the first time they play a team that really has a great defense and a great pass rush, who is known for their defensive tendency. Can CJ Stroud go out there and beat CJ Stroud, or is this going to be a defense that turns CJ Stroud into a mediocre quarterback today?
I'm not going to go with mediocre. I wouldn't dare do that at all. I think him not even being 100% is probably better than some of these D1 quarterbacks out there. But I don't want it to take away from the game plan at hand for the Ohio State. Now, if it takes away from the game plan, sit him down, coach. Let's be smart. He's trying to play on Sundays. Keep that in mind.
Now, if you're looking at these two teams, Iowa's offense is only doing total yards of 238.8 yards. To break that down for you, they only have 156.7 per game for yards passing and only 82.2 yards rushing. But on the other hand, Ohio State averages over 543.7 total offense. Break that down, they're doing 315.7 yards passing and 228 yards rushing. So now, how does Iowa get their offensive going against Ohio State? Because they're gonna need their offense to put some points on the board if they want to get any competition with them in the third and fourth quarter of this ball game.
You know, it's no such thing as taking advantage of Ohio State's defense playing sloppy. You can catch them being slow from the jump of the game if you want to do that. But being that advantageous the whole game, I don't know. That's where that game plan must be really keen and to the point if they want to get out of hand and try to take advantage of the Ohio State's defense.
And if you
strike
look at
early
it,
and strike often and be smart.
and if you want to look at it, Ohio State defense is matching up pretty good with Iowa's defense because they're both. Iowa's defense is only giving up 664 yards, 0.7 per game to Ohio State 253.5. But let's break it down a little bit. Passing yards, Iowa's only giving up 154.0 a game. Ohio State is only giving up 160.3 a game. Rushing yards allowed, Iowa has given up 110.7, but Ohio State's only given up 93.2. So we got perfectly even defensive matchup here by both teams, but the miscrewed of the numbers is coming to Ohio State offense to Iowa's offense. And we were talking about Iowa, they haven't got their offensive going yet. So how does Iowa have to figure out how to get their offense going? Because you're playing a team that can match, that can put points on the board quickly and often. Doesn't matter what kind of defense they're playing because you got to put the pressure on the corners. But Iowa has to get in there with pass rush. If they can't get in there with a pass rush, will this be a long day for Iowa's defense?
It can be. But again, it all depends on the health of CJ. That defense is going to be based on what Ohio State's offense is going to do. And if the defense can do its job, then that way that motivates the offense. It's going to be one of those days where the defense job has got to motivate the offense for Iowa.
That is true. That is true because we know the game of momentum plays. If Ohio State get off early in the first quarter, if Iowa can keep it close in the first and second quarter, I think they put pressure on Ohio State in the third and fourth quarter. So now my question is, before halftime, is this game going to be out of hand or will it be close at halftime?
It's going to be a close game because they know each other too well. Be no surprises here unless Iowa comes out here getting out of character. That's the only way this thing can get really out of hand, like a 35-3 at halftime, the Ohio State, and everybody's wondering around the country, what happened? Iowa's out here doing things they normally wouldn't do. That's the only way I can see that game getting out of hand like that. Out of hand is more than 20 points at halftime and 3 or less points at halftime for the opposing team. That's when something is not going the right way. You're not supposed to be doing that.
And when I was going through my notes here, something pop up a little bit interesting. Ohio State red zone efficiency is the best in the country. In 29 trips to the red zone, the Buckeyes have scored every time. All but 2 were touchdowns. Today, if they get in the red zone, we know our defense is stingy. So when they get in there, the bend don't break type defense, they stiffen up in that red zone. How will Ohio State have to attack Iowa in the red zone, because it's a condensed end zone when you get in that 25 on the 25 and on, and it gets condensed. So Iowa plays pretty good defense in that red zone. So this is going to be a matchup of best red zone offense against the best red zone defense. So what do you think on that part?
What I like to call it, the red zone, where bad things go to happen. That's where bad things go to happen every time, each and every Saturday. Somebody is doing something in the red zone, and we all saying, what just happened? Throwing the ball over the middle. Why? Just don't do that today. The ball's being thrown over the middle. It's going to get tipped, and that turns into what, kids? A pick six, Daddy.
Yep. So do you feel comfortable in picking Iowa beating Ohio State, or are you going to stay with Ohio State beating Iowa?
That was a good try there, Ray. I'm going to go with the Ohio State, sir.
Yeah, I'm going with the Buckeyes too. I just don't feel comfortable with Iowa's offense against the Buckeyes defense, or matching points for points with Ohio State. So,
it may be the boringest thing in all of college football, but I get a kick out of watching it, and that's when the Ohio State's band dots the I. I get a kick. I get so giddy watching that, man, and I don't know what it is. I just think that is damn cool the way they do it, just to dot the I.
I know what it is. You just like watching that freaking helmet they wear with the feathers and stuff.
I don't know.
It reminds you of you. It reminds you of you, see? That reminds you of you right now.
He's wearing the hat.
Hey, man, when somebody says, hey, I dare you, I accept that as a challenge. Don't dare me no more. At game time today for Iowa and Ohio State in Columbus, Ohio, it's going to be 58 degrees. Nice weather up there. It's not going to be too cold. It's not going to be too hot. It's just going to be in the mixture. So you need to bundle up, wear a windbreaker or something up there at the Horseshoe. All right, we're going to next game. We're going to go into Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee. The high today is 60 degrees in Knoxville, Tennessee, up in the mountain areas of Tennessee. University of Tennessee Martin will come in at 4-2 against the number 3 Tennessee 6-0. It has been so long since we see Tennessee in the top 5 of college football. How do you feel about that? With coming off that big victory and coming into this game, will this be a letdown game for Tennessee, or will this be a hangover game for Tennessee?
I tell you what, it's not often I can say this on a Saturday, but sometimes I'm going to be wrong. I was wrong the first week 0 and week 1 about Tennessee. I had no idea they were going to be this good. Josh, great job. Great job. But Tennessee is fast. And now they can smell something. After Peyton going there last week and hearing stories about him and T. Martin, I'm telling you right now, Hooker wants to be different. That team wants to be different. And they're on a pace and a path. Well, I think things get interesting late November and December.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you look at this really good hit, Hendon Booker is 119 completion to 170 attempts, 1,817 yards, 15 TDs, and 1 interception. But if you look at Tennessee Martin's quarterback, University of Tennessee Martin's quarterback, D. Wynn, he's 131 completions out of 208, 1,737 yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He doesn't turn the ball over either. So these two quarterbacks coming into this game are not a quarterback that turns the ball over, that keeps their offensive driving here. Tennessee Martin had a couple hiccups. They lost 2 games, but they won 4. But the ESPN predictor is giving this all to Tennessee, 99.40, and only giving Tennessee Martin a 0.6% chance of winning this ball game. But we know what happened with Tennessee last week. They kicked the field goal. It was a 40-yard field goal. It was tipped at the line. It was tipped. It looked ugly because I thought he kicked it ugly. But now when I went back and looked at it, the Alabama nose tackle got a hand on it to make it look bad, but it went through. We know about the goalposts going out. We know about them raising money for the goalposts. We know about the goalposts is going to be there today. Ain't going to be no mystery of having a, fake field goal, type deal and stuff like that. So how does Tennessee Martin keep this high-powered offense of Tennessee at bay today?
They can't and they won't, but here's the message that should be said to Tennessee. Guys, I know you're feeling good. Great football so far, but it's not done yet. Great celebration, but that's over with. Let's move forward. We cannot make the mistakes in the first half that we made last week. It should have blew Bama out in the first half, if you ask me, but they were playing around, pussyfooting around. But Tennessee Martin, on the other hand, they have nothing to lose. They can go out here and go balls out, wild, crazy. Play the game of their lives, trying to get on somebody's radar. Maybe one of these guys want to get in the transfer portal or want to make better plays and play on a Sunday. But Tennessee has the upper hand right now, to me. They have the upper hand. But it could be teams do have that hangover, as you did say, teams who have that hangover. They go too far. And then the kicker for Tennessee, he should be on a poster for college football recruiting kickers. This is how you do it, kids. He improved the kicking world. Look at what he did. That kid would never sleep alone again.
Oh, dude, he gone all the way into the bedroom and everything else in the dorms in Tennessee.
He would never. Well, at least I beat Bama. What did you do, Todd?
Well, right now, if you look at the running game, Tennessee Martin's running game with Wallace is 98 carries, 567 yards to 10 touchdowns. And on the opposite end of Tennessee, which is right, 79 carries, 386 yards, and 4 touchdowns. We know Tennessee Martin doesn't play a tough schedule like Tennessee does up in the SEC type deal. We know the running back numbers are going to be skewed. Does Tennessee Martin try to run the ball and run it often and get out of here with a victory if they can keep Tennessee's high-power offense off the field?
How do you slow down a pack of wild animals that have not eaten and you have food that they want and need? How do you do that? That
run the ball.
Remains to be the question. How do people do that? How are you going to slow this team down that is so hungry? I don't understand how they're going to do it. It got to hurt for cramps or the team party. How they going to party too hard and they at home? It's going to be a tough one, kids. Tough one. This could be a shutout.
To me, if I was University of Tennessee Martin, I would try to get the running game going and establish and keep that running game going until they stop it. Don't worry about passing the freaking football until they stop your running game, and then you mix it up with a little bit of play action and stuff like that. But Tennessee Martin has to get that running game going to keep Tennessee's high-power offense on the sideline. If you keep them on the sideline, you have a better chance of winning the football game than you would if you try to match score for score with them.
So what you're saying, Coach, is we got a chance if we can get to 2nd and 5 or less.
That is correct.
If we get to 2nd and 5 or less, we have a chance, Coach. I like that, Coach. That's an obtainable goal, Coach. I like that. I like where your head's at. Defense, get on board. I like
Tennessee Martin cannot make any mistake. They have no room to make mistakes in this ballgame. They have to play mistake-free.
Sounds real good on the board, kids. No mistakes. But we all know mistakes happen. It's part of the game. But don't make the mistakes that's going to hurt the team, i.e. pass interference, roughing the passer, and my all-time favorite, jumping off sides in the red zone. Right there. That's my favorite. How do you jump off sides in the red zone?
Also, University of Tennessee Martin's got to deal with a capacity of the crowds here, which is 102,455 people at here, and you got to hear the band play Rocky Top Tennessee through the game. So that's gonna be an advantage right there for Tennessee. So.
I wonder if CBS hoping they don't get another nip slip like last week.
Well, this game is going to be on the SEC network today.
Oh, so it's not going to be on CBS. We don't care over there. We wilding out over there. So,
I mean, that's that one. So, does Does your pick stay with Tennessee today?
Yes, in the words of every lawyer out there, until proven guilty, yes. Yes.
By the way, that game cost you some points last week in the pick 'em.
By the way, hold on 1 second. I was just conceived 2 minutes ago, so it's officially my birthday now. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I'd like to accept this birthday on behalf of my mother and father. Thank you.
There you go. Birthday time. All right, let's move into the ACC. We got number 14, Syracuse versus number 5, Clemson. Is Dino Barber off the hot seat now?
I don't know. I don't know. They probably got stand by, coach. Stand by. We don't know. Don't get too comfortable. Don't order nothing new. But I'm still not convinced Clemson is that deal again. I'm not agreeing with the ranking. I don't like the ranking at all. That's some BS.
What, number 4 in the nation?
Yeah, they're not better than
number 5.
Tennessee.
The number 5.
Yeah, no, they should be way down the line. They should be probably 7 or 8 at best. At best.
I don't know. They're undefeated still, and they've been playing pretty good football.
That's fine. That's fine. There are lots of teams that are undefeated, but have they really played undefeated football? That's all I'm saying. As in years past.
I mean, if you got to play with your people in your schedule. I mean, they beat Florida State. They beat Boston College.
Don't do that to me.
They beat number 10 NC State. They beat number 21 Wake Forest. So they beat 2 ranked teams, and Florida State's better than what their record is.
If you say so.
Yeah. I know you Gator are biased over this Florida State team, but we know that because of rivalry and stuff, but still.
No, my team is my team and how teams are and all that. I'm just saying this Clemson team, to me, has not really proven to me that they deserve that ranking. That's all I'm saying. That's not that Clemson Joey Lawrence. That's not that team. I don't want them to be that team. Don't want them to be that team, but they don't deserve this ranking is all I'm saying. But the closer we get to the end of November, we'll know who the baby dad is. We'll know who the dad is of that team. We'll know.
All right, now, if you look at Syracuse undefeated record, they beat UConn, they beat Purdue, they beat Virginia, they beat Wagner, and they beat NC State. NC State and Clemson is the only common opponent that they have right now on the schedule that they played. Clemson beat NC State, but you got to remember the NC State win with Syracuse was without Devin Leary. The win with Clemson was with Devin Leary. So that's the difference between NC State right now because that quarterback got injured. We wish him the best. We wish him the best recovery. He's been injury prone throughout his career at NC State. You know me. I don't like people when they get injured. Because it reminds me of myself. So, I have big hearts for people getting injured. So keep prayers out for him. Hope he has a speedy recovery and he'll move on into the NFL next season. So, but anyway, we're talking about this game here. This is an interesting game because Syracuse has a big 6'4" quarterback and Sharpner. He's 106 out of 152 passing for 1,434 yards. He has 12 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. DJ Ugale is 137 completion out of 213 for 1,665 yards with 17 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. What does Sharper has to do against this Clemson defense? Because we know Clemson defense likes to put pressure and they like to force the quarterback in mistakes. We have seen a couple times that Sharper has thrown, when he gets pressured in red zone, he has thrown interceptions, picks, taking points off the board for Syracuse. Now, we know that Debo Swinney has predicated himself on the offensive side and the defensive side to be a complete football team. What does Clemson have to do to force what does Sharper have to do to force his team and play smart football against Clemson?
I believe most quarterbacks love taking their time and picking teams apart. I think the game gets confusing when you get quarterbacks on the run, having to think on their feet. They got too many moving parts at one time. That's when mistakes really do happen. I think you get a quarterback on the run that's not a runner, but more of a passer when he's on the run. That's when the game becomes crazy and gets out of hand. Now, if you get a dual threat quarterback that can run and throw, that's when it becomes a real problem. That's when you really want your places and your zone coverage to really make sense. So it's all based on what that front setup can do versus the secondary.
Yeah, and we know Clemson's secondary had problems so far this year against Wake Forest with all these pass interference and with North Carolina State with all of the pass interference complete into this. They have a young quarterback core for Clemson, but they have an experienced front seven. If the front seven of Clemson is not able to put pressure on Schrader could pick their secondary apart, and we're going to see a lot more pass interference from Clemson's young cornerback position. How does the young corners from Clemson hold up against Schrader and this wide receiving core? Because you also got an All-American running back in Tucker for Syracuse. These two teams got good running backs, Shipley for Clemson and Tucker for Syracuse. So now when they get the running back involved in the passing game, they have done that plenty of times. It caused NC State a lot of problems last week with the running back catching the ball out of the backfield. Is it going to be the same situation today with Clemson?
No, I really think on the defensive side for Clemson, being so young on the ends out there, that calls for a lot of PIs and games that get you in situations you don't want to be in. So they got to play really smart football to really do being in this situation. And also, I like Clemson's defense better than their offense this year. That's what's giving me the problem with the team. I just figured out when you were telling your details of the game there. That's why I've been on the fence with Clemson. Usually it's the offense that I'm really excited about when it comes to Clemson Tiger football. But that defense has been the one I'm sitting back like, okay. That's why I'm thinking Dabo got a little in his feelings when the media got on him on the shift change with offense and defense. I thought you were doing this. You're doing this. So you're lacking something with the offensive side of the ball. And on the side of Syracuse, being this position of being undefeated, they're probably looking at this the way I'm talking about both of these teams being undefeated and not really gelling with the fact that Clemson deserves this ranking, even though they're undefeated. So Syracuse looked at this the same way. People don't think we deserve to be undefeated. Well, let's show them, let's go. It could be that type of a matchup. They can't go out here timid, that being Syracuse.
Now, does this game feel like the game like Clemson played against Pittsburgh about a couple years ago in Clemson where Pittsburgh took them to the limit? Could this game be the same way?
That was the year of that was Pickett's first year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was Pickett's first year. So I think Dabo has learned his lesson on getting outshined by one dominant player again. I think those days are over with. I think he over-prepares sometimes for situations like that. He's one of those coaches. He's not going to let that happen to him again or the team because he took responsibility for that.
Yeah, and talking about this game is a big stake for Clemson. This is what Clemson has in this ball game right now. A spot in the ACC championship game is a possibility if they can win this game today. A college football playoff berth. Clemson wants to keep on track for both with a fifth straight win over the Orange. They have 5 straight wins, but while Syracuse wins would be its best start since its last undefeated season in 1987, and Market will be the favorite to play for the ACC title in December. It will likely end a chance for a conference team to reach the CFP 14 field. So that's what Clemson's got a big stake to play for right here. Is that a lot of pressure on Clemson today? Just that right there.
No. Pressure bust pipes, and Clemson's ready for all the smoke right now. They're ready for all that. No. I think they're the same way. They are mad they're not being as talked about as much in the ACC. They're not. They're not the talk of the town. And I think they're going to try to make a statement game today. They're going to try to play real tough Clemson-style football today.
Let's switch a little bit. We talked about the quarterback. Let's switch a little bit to Clemson's running back and Will Shipley. Will Shipley versus, and the mystique of this game is called Will Shipley versus Syracuse run defense. Shipley's relentless style has carried the Tigers offense much of the year. He is second in the ACC in all-purpose yard and has counted for 8 touchdowns. Syracuse is second in the ACC in rushing defense, giving up only 95 yards a game on the ground this fall. So, Will Shipley, we know his running style is totally different from everybody else. He can run for power. He can run for shifty moves. How does the run defense for Syracuse try to stop Will Shipley today? Because if Will Shipley goes off, Clemson goes off.
Yeah, he can find a hole, man. He's really good. And once he hits that hole, he hits that third gear, and he's gone. When you face a running back like that, everybody has to stay in their lane, do their part. Don't overthink the process. Don't second guess the play. Just stay in your lane. If you overguess the play, guess what? He's going to turn back around and pull up Barry Sanders on you. But he can find those holes, though, man. In holes we don't even see until we see the replay. When we see the play actually happen, we're like, wait a minute, okay. You see the replay, like, damn, that hole wasn't that big at all.
Yeah, if you look at it, too, and on the defensive side, what I think about Will Shipley is a competitor. So he was down in the NC State game, but he found ways to run the ball effectively, found ways to make the pass plays because he had a big reception in that NC State game. But on the other end, Miles Murphy, the defensive end for Clemson, had got off to a slow start this season, but he has now caught fire in the last few games. Does Miles Murphy stay on fire in this ball game on the defensive side for Clemson?
I love when Clemson get old defensive spark to ignite the whole stadium and the rest of the team. I like that. This could be a big day for the defense of Clemson. I'm already feeling special way about Clemson defense. But yeah, he will have a big day.
Yeah, if you look at it this way, he's highly regarded by the NFL prospects, leads the Tigers with 5 sacks, and is third on the team with 3 pass breakups. Have you ever heard of an defensive lineman with 3 pass breakups?
Yeah, when they put them paws up.
No, he actually went downfield and cover a running back.
Oh, I do remember that play now. I remember that play. There's some guys in ACC and the SEC that have that ability to cover a running back out of the field. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah, and let's look at the facts and figures of this ball game here. Clemson has won a ACC record tying 37 straight wins at home, and can surpass Florida State's old conference record with a victory this week. Syracuse has not won this many games in a row since a runs of 8 straight in 2001 under Paul Pasqualoni. Clemson leads the football subdivision with 13-game win streak after closing last season with a 6th consecutive victory. Syracuse has allowed 13.2 a game this season, 6 fewest in the FBS. The Tigers have averaged more than 36 points a game during its current winning streak. Syracuse receiver Onur Gaddiston II is the first ACC receiver with 3 100 yards plus games, and Clemson surprising DJ Ugalea has thrown at least 3 touchdown passes in 2 straight games. Trevor Lawrence in 2020 was the last Tiger passer to do it in 3 consecutive games. He has a chance to tie that today against Syracuse. Syracuse is on a short list of programs to win over Clemson since 2015. The Orange beat the eventual ACC champion in the CFP team 27-24 in 2017. Clemson has only lost 10 games in the last 8 seasons.
Damn. He's doing something right. He deserved that money. Dre, be quiet. 10 losses in 8 years? Damn it.
Yeah. 8 years. That means he's got to lose about half a game here.
Yeah, I don't see this being a blowout at all, but I see this being a real close game. I think at some point in time, Syracuse can find itself in a situation to be a part of upset Saturday. But then reality is going to kick in, and Clemson's going to prevail in this game.
Yeah, if you look at it, too, Clemson leads the series 8-2.
Damn.
And Clemson is favored by 13.5 today. And if you really want to know something about this whole analytics thing, ESPN put their matchup predictor at 17.0% for Syracuse and 83% to Clemson today. So who you got?
I got Clemson.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with the home team because the mistake of the orange coming down the hill, and if Syracuse comes out on the field first and watch them run down the thing, I think they just lost the game right there. They need to run on the field last. So to give them a chance. All right, let's do a little bit of rapid fire here. We got number 21 Cincinnati at SMU at 12 o'clock. Who you have in this ball game?
What's that matchup one more time?
Number 21 Cincinnati versus SMU. And it's played at SMU at 12 o'clock.
Give me the Natty.
ESPN.
Give me the Bearcats. The Natty.
Right now we're sticking together because I don't see any way SMU beats Cincinnati today. All right, this one here's can Kansas get back on the winning streak? Can Kansas get back on the winning side? Kansas at Baylor at 12 o'clock ESPN2. Who do you have in this ball game?
It's Baylor in Texas.
Baylor and Kansas.
Kansas?
Yeah.
Give me Kansas, man. Give me Kansas. Rolling with
Trey's taking Kansas. I'm going with the Bearcats. I'm going with the freaking Baylor Bears because the students will be running on the field to get their seats first. I always like that too. That's one of the good traditions of college football. I think the Baylor Bears gets the win today. I think Kansas is going to have that losing streak continue on today. So there you go. You got one game you can pick up on me right now. So
definitely will.
University of Louisiana Monroe versus Army at West Point today.
You know what? Give me Army. Feeling good.
Yeah, I got the midshipman in this one. I think that triple option will work very well at West Point. The game here in the Big Ten, Indiana versus Rutgers up in Piscataway, New Jersey.
Give me Rutgers.
You're going with the Rutgers. As Chris Berman says, I'm going to go with Indiana on this one. So I think Indiana will win this game. It's going to be a close game, but I think Indiana has a little bit better talent than Rutgers right now. All right, bro. Houston will travel into Memorial Stadium at Indianapolis, Maryland to play the midshipmen of Navy. Who do you have in this ballgame?
Come on now. Navy all day, baby. Navy all day. Steady as she go.
Got to go with midshipmen. All right. The Battle of Ohio, which is Akron, Ohio versus Kent State.
Give me Akron.
You're going to take Akron. I'm going to stay home with the Kent State. All right. Let's talk about this game here. I got a bunch of Duke friends. I told them I would talk about this game, break it down for them a little bit here. Duke at Miami today at 12:30 on ESPN3. This is not played on any national television except ESPN3. So you got to have your cable provider who could also subscribe to ESPN3 to watch this ball game. How do you figure Duke's team out after losing to North Carolina last week and Miami? How do you figure this team out who's supposed to be the Coastal Division winner according to the preseason hype that Miami got? And now Miami's finding themselves unranked and in second place in the Coastal Division. How do you see this game matching up today?
And all this is based on the play against Duke. We're talking about the U playing the Blue Devils in football. And the U is in trouble playing the Duke Blue Devils in football. I don't know what happened down there with Miami. There's got to be more to this story. I don't want to hear about the recruiting issue. That everybody goes through that. It has to be more. How the message is not getting through to the kids in the classroom about talking about the game and the game plan, to the practice field, to working on what we just talked about in the classroom, getting it done on the practice field, then the games start, and that's not what we talked about or discussed or practiced. How does that happen? And it seems to be going on there with Miami. Every weekend, everybody on Miami's sideline is looking around like, what happened? Why is the play not being executed the way it should be executed? Is the Wi-Fi off? This is not U-style football, so I can't go with the U in this one at all today. And I know you're a Carolina guy. I gotta feel I'm going with Duke in this game.
Okay.
Duke has the momentum. Even though they lost, they have the momentum to me.
Okay, this is the thing I look at it this too here. Miami played Virginia Tech last week up in Lane Stadium. They won 20-14. Can this Duke team is going down into Miami, going into the Hard Rock Stadium, the home of the Miami Dolphins and the Hurricanes. They play in the same stadium. Last time a Carolina team went in there was the University of North Carolina that beat Miami 27-24. The interception sealed that game. Same way the interception sealed the Duke game.
Mm-hmm.
So both teams in Carolina played these back-to-back weeks. They beat them with the exact same score, except for it was a little bit different. They beat them by 3 with both teams. Duke has been playing football great this year.
Yeah.
Duke in the last 5 have won 2 out of the last 3. Won 2 out of 3 of the last 5 games. They have lost 2 in a row. They lost to Georgia Tech 23-20 in overtime at Bobby Dodd Stadium. They lost to North Carolina at Wallace Wade Stadium. They go on the road today. Duke road games so far this year, they're 0-2 on the road. They lost to Kansas 35-27, and they lost to Georgia Tech 23-20. Both on the road. So now Duke has a 2-game losing streak on the road, dating back to the October 8th and Kansas game on September 24th. This is their second road game in 3 games. What I'm trying to get at is, how does Miami defense stack up against that running quarterback? We know that he had a 57-yard run against North Carolina for a touchdown last week. And then you got Leonard, who is 130 out of 197, 1,557 yards passing. But he also leads the team in rushing with 64 carries for 420 yards and 5 touchdowns. He has a total of 13 touchdowns combined with the rush and the passing. So how does Miami defense can counteract a running quarterback and a passing quarterback at the same time?
Miami has tried everything under the sun this year, to win games, to come back from games, to take control of games, to hang in there with games, and everything has not worked that they have tried. So they're going to go old school today, old school tactics. And the U is good at bringing up fear. They're going to have to scare the Dukies into doing something they're comfortable doing, but today they're going to be timid about doing it. Hey, don't do that. Why would you do? They're going to put a big hit out there. A hit is going to change the game today. It's going to be one of those hits. But I still got Duke, not by a lot. I got Duke winning this game, and I just got a feeling, a 2-game loss. Everything you said about Duke was all negative. You didn't say one positive thing about Duke going into this matchup. And those are probably just the notes on the game, not you personally speaking. Now, on the other side, I want to see Miami come up out of this shithole they're in. But I don't see them even trying. Well, I want to help a team that doesn't want to help themselves. Old school knowledge right there. But I'm going with Dookie winning this game. Well,
you said I talk about all negative about Duke. I haven't got to my positive about Duke yet. You stole my thunder there. See, I was giving you questions in between my thing. This is the positive side that I see what's going to happen today is
your Carolina fans are listening. Be careful now.
The Riley Leonard quarterback, he is going to throw the ball effectively against Miami because we have seen what Drake May had did in Miami's defense and passing. But Drake May also is a pocket passer who ran the ball effectively against Miami's defense, and Leonard is a better runner than Drake May. And he can be effective in both things. So you cannot rush him. If Miami rushes him, he's going to burn them if he gets through that level. You know what you talk about when you blitz? If the quarterback can break the first in containment, there's nobody else to block him. No one else to take him down. He's going to have a big game today. I think he has a better game on the ground than he does in the passing. I think he will rush almost 200 yards today. If Riley Leonard runs the ball over 200 yards today, it's going to be in trouble for the Hurricanes because Duke will keep their offense on bay, will keep them driving the ball, and will keep them in short yardage all game long.
I like that footnote you put on there. If Duke quarterback can run the ball, and you said he got 200 yards rushing. If a quarterback can run, that really throws the defense off keel. It really does because now it switches the whole game plan. And then if you're real smart with it, you can throw the ball too, and you want to expose your running backs as well, or have a little fun with the option and your tight end and go downfield. Now you open up the play action. You didn't open up the toss. You open up so many things when your quarterback can scare the defense with his legs. And that's what I'm seeing with Duke today.
And then on the other hand, Duke's defense has got to worry about Tyler Van Dyke, who is now getting hot again. He had 496 yards passing against North Carolina 2 weeks ago. He had 351 more against Virginia Tech last week. So what I'm talking about for Duke has to keep the drive going. They have to keep it within 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5, 3rd and short, 3rd and everything to keep the drive going. They have to have more drives today, not quick pass plays, not quick scores, to keep Tyler Van Dyke off the field. What North Carolina did to Miami, they frustrated Tyler Van Dyke because he couldn't get out there more times. But in the second half, he came out through firing, and they made it a closer game than what people really expected in that second half of that North Carolina game. But Duke has kept every opponent close today. They have played. Even in the losses that Duke had, they have kept the opponents close. I mean, they have not lost. Kansas was the biggest loss they had was 35-27. Everybody else in the last 3 games, they blew out Virginia. They played Georgia Tech close. They played North Carolina within 3. They only lost the last 2 weeks and by 6 points. If this game is close, I think Duke pulls it out.
Don't let it come into my favorite part of the game in college football that I love, a kicking game. Don't let that happen, kids. Keep the crowd out of the game, too. If they can keep the Cane fans, the U fans, keep them out of the game and turn those U's into boos, I like that. They turn them U's into boos, things could get detrimental for the fans right there for Miami. But I got Duke winning this game.
I went on one of my groups, the Tribe Rivalry group, which is North Carolina State, and Duke. We all got a group on Facebook.
It's called Child Rivalry Group?
No, it's a Tribe Rivalry. It's three teams in the rivalry.
Okay,
it's called Tribe Rivalry.
Okay. I was nervous.
So we call it that. So they put a game. They put Duke fans put up a a game watch chat that we can all chat, during the game and stuff like that. As we're watching the game, I went in there today and I said, I hope this game turns out to be like the game they had in the past up in Wallet Way Stadium, where Miami won it on the kickoff with all those laterals, which some of the laterals weren't laterals. I give you that. I give Duke fans that credit. Some of them weren't lateral. They didn't go back and review it. And they went back and reviewed it. And they said it's still backwards pass. I said some of them things are for it, and I give you that. I give Duke fans credit for that. Yes, I believe some of them was that. But Miami won the game anyway. But he said he hoped he still had bad memories from that. One of the Duke fans I know, he said he still has a bad memory. He hopes that does not happen today. Well, if that comes down to the fact that happens today, can they do it again? Can Miami do it again to Duke with all those laterals?
No. And laterals hurt me. John Elway's only game to get him into a bowl game was shattered by that lateral game against Cal Bears. That was just awful in the marching band game and all that. That denied John Elway going to a bowl game in college. So the lateral has bad memories for me. Remember I told you a few months ago, probably even last year when we did the show, that college football fans, we don't forget shit. Especially the things that hurt us and those fantastic plays of game. We don't forget nothing.
Yeah, and me, I'm going to go also. You're going with Duke. I'm also go with Duke. The reason I'm going for that way is because I don't like Miami. I don't like Cristobal. I can't stand that program whatsoever. I just don't. I despise the reason I despise it more now because I'm living in the state of Florida, and all the Miami fans, when I go out in public, wear my Carolina shirt and stuff like that, they're always laughing for some reason, even though we have beat them,
You moved in hostile territory. That's like when people go in the ocean and get bit by a shark. You went where they are at.
Hey,
go swim in a pool.
I could have moved out of here, but I kind of like the no state taxes. I didn't want to move back to North Carolina where my retirement gets state tax. I can't get double taxed.
Tax-free money?
Yeah, I get state tax. We don't pay state tax here in Florida.
Man, I'm moving to Florida.
You don't pay state taxes.
I'm going on Cupid Love or eHarmony. I'm finding me a Floridian, and I'm moving to Florida.
Yeah, you don't pay state taxes here. That's on why I stay.
I'm moving to Florida.
I could move back to my hometown and get double tax,
I'm going on eHarmony today.
I don't want to do that. But anyway, so I got Duke win. Yes, Duke fans, I picked Duke to win this game. But if Duke, I'm gonna give you one warning. If Duke loses this game, I will never pick them again. So, just letting you know. I am a biased person here today because my team ain't playing. I did pick Duke. If Duke loses this game, I will never pick Duke again.
There are some schools I just can't. I don't understand how they let me down, and I fall for the okie doke every time because I get greedy when I see that score, that matchup, or that damn line. That line gets so sexy in football sometimes, man. It's like wearing lingerie. It's
just like you last week.
With no bra. Oh.
It's just like you last week picking Alabama because Alabama's streak of winning against Tennessee,
I sucked in college football, but I won big time on Sundays, so it was a win-win for me. But I'm winning today in college football. Today will be that day. Today, my birthday. I'm not losing on my birthday in my Denzel Washington voice.
All right, let's take a break here. When we come back, we'll go through some rapid fires. We'll talk about Tilo and Buffalo, Bowling Green and Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan, Ball State, Northern Illinois, Ohio. We have another rapid fire all the way up to UNLV and Notre Dame coming up. So we'll be right back after these messages here. I am Ray. I am Dre. This is the All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown Show. We'll be back after these messages.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. Offensitation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
What did you say?
I said Kobe Bean Bryant has been overrated ever since he passed away.
Now, I'd say they could lose about 4, but I don't see them losing 5. You know what I mean?
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
This is the Fonx D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at fonxdnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the All Sports, All Plays Network. I am Ray Cruz. This is the College Breakdown. We got to get that stretching going. We know that Dre had to get some of his high power for nicotine, caffeine in his body there. So
you call it caffeine, I call it liquor.
Now let's continue on here. We're going to go with another rapid fire here. Toledo versus Buffalo. Who you have today?
I think Toledo has been making me feel pretty good lately. I'm going with Toledo again this weekend.
You going with Toledo again?
I'm going with Toledo again.
This is phenomenal. You don't very seldom you go back to back with teams, a small college a team like that. So
I had the same woman twice, so there's no telling what I'm gonna do today.
I got Buffalo in this one. Bowling Green at Central Michigan.
Central Michigan.
Andre going back to back here. Same pick this time with Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan at Ball State.
At Ball State?
At Ball State.
Give me Ball State. Ball State Insurance, brought to you by ASAP.
I'm going to take out the Eastern Michigan claim of coldness. I'm going with Eastern Michigan on this one.
Okay.
Northern Illinois at Ohio.
Give me NIU, the party school.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with you on that party school thing. I think they're gonna come in here to party. Let's talk about this one. UNLV at Notre Dame on NBC. This is on the Peacock. What is the state of Notre Dame football right now to you?
That was a commercial back in the early '90s. It was like the Chucky doll, but it was a man in his work construction uniform, and his name was Buddy Lee. And they get a comparison on Buddy Lee, and everybody's like, I thought he said Buddy Guy. That's how I feel about Notre Dame. Who the hell is Notre Dame? Who are these Golden Domers? They have confused me. They're a chameleon team. I don't know who they are. But one more announcer, a media outlet, start off a Notre Dame story about the coach and his beautiful family. I'm kicking over one of my TVs. And I'm emailing 37 times in a row to that network. And I'm a hashtag and tweet the guy or woman that says that. I'm tired of hearing that about that dude. But I want to know who is Notre Dame football. Who are they? I don't know who they are. Don't know.
Who are they? I mean, that's the problem. We don't know because North Carolina, they played a power game, which North Carolina's offensive line got overmanned in that game. I'll give Notre Dame credit for that. They overpowered us in the running game. They beat us 45-32. But then they came back and beat BYU, number 16 ranked team at the time, 28-20. Mm-hmm. Then they lose to Stanford.
Explain
last
that.
week at home.
Explain that.
This is their second loss at Notre Dame, in the Notre Dame Stadium, in the Golden Dome Stadium, in front of football Jesus.
Rudy.
That's what they say. But then they lose to Stanford, 16-14.
Come on, Notre Dame. You're on the clock. I need explanation. I know you historically, the four horsemen went there, the Glee Club, Rudy. But damn it, man. Come on. Each and every game, Notre Dame is played differently week after week. There is no consistency with Notre Dame, and I want to know why. They usually very self-disciplined team.
I mean, if you look at today, UNLV comes in here. UNLV's averaging 29 points a game to Notre Dame's 23.7. But UNLV is also giving up 27.7 per game to Notre Dame's 22.0. The offense is pretty much even in the passing and the rushing yards. A little bit different for Notre Dame and rushing. They got about 24 more, probably about 34 more than what UNLV has in rushing on offense. But their defense, on the other hand, they're both giving up only 213.6 yards passing, 210 for Notre Dame. And then their rushing is UNLV is giving up 165.1 to Notre Dame's 137.7. So if you look at the tape on the thing, instead of looking at what they play on the field, they're even football right now. But UNLV comes in here at 4-3. Notre Dame comes in here at 3-3.
Boy, disparaging numbers right there. Disparaging numbers when you put it all together. But Notre Dame is the type of team that will put together a 10-play drive, get 7 points, and give off a kickoff for a touchdown. That's what I'm talking about. The attention span is gone. They're like third graders over there some weekends. Then other weekends, they're prepared. And then again, they go back, they drop a grade again. Now they're first graders. So I don't know, and I don't know what Notre Dame needs to do. There's no way his play book and what he wants out of his coaches is that hard to do or to pull off. Unless there's more to the story here. Somebody not playing, you want them to play? I mean, something going on. Because this is not Notre Dame football. It can't be that hard.
But if you look at this too, and if you look at this for UNLV's sake and Notre Dame's sake, UNLV in the last 2 weeks against San Jose State University and against Air Force have only scored 7 points total. They scored 14 combined with the 2 games, but they only scored 7 points in each of those games.
And then Notre Dame, the quarterback situation with Notre Dame. Is he back? The kid, the 5th grader? I mean, what's going
on? For the Notre Dame quarterback, yeah. I'll tell you, it's still. I think he's out for the year.
Jesus. So the kid that looks like he's in 5th grade is still quarterback.
Yeah, Notre Dame's quarterback Drew Payne versus UNLV defense. Payne struggled against Stanford, completing just 13 out of 27 passes for 151 yards and 1 touchdown. He entered the game completing 72.5% of his throws, and the Irish needs to get him back on track this week. UNLV defense has allowed 213.6 yards passing per game. If Payne can't rebound, the Rebels can stack the line of scrimmage and take away the run and make it even difficult for Notre Dame.
How tall is Notre Dame quarterback?
Who, Payne? His bio is he is 5'11", 198 pounds. He is from New Canaan, Connecticut, and he's a sophomore.
He's 5'11"?
Yeah, wow. 5'11", 198 pounds.
Man, I thought that kid was like 5'7", 5'6", 5'7".
No, he's 5'11".
Man.
He's an inch taller than me.
Hey, that's what she said.
He's ranked 111th in passing yards. He's tied 64th with 10 touchdowns. He's tied 18th with 2 interceptions. He's 53rd with 65.5 in QBR.
I got a good buddy that's a huge Notre Dame fan, my buddy Jay, who lives down there in Florida right now as well. And what I'm used to seeing from Notre Dame, maybe that's the disappointing factor. Maybe Notre Dame football is fine to everybody else, but to me, what I know Notre Dame is not what I'm seeing. That may be the problem. Maybe Notre Dame is playing football just fine, but my expectation for Notre Dame is not where I think they should be, and I think that's unfair if they're playing great football. But is Notre Dame playing good football to you this year?
No, they only played one good. They played one good game, really.
Okay,
that passed out that, and that was against my team, which was. Pissed me off, but anyway.
I just want to make sure I'm seeing the same thing because being legally blind, sometimes I need backup. I need confirmation.
Yeah, but I mean, Notre Dame is 31-6 all time against a Mountain West Conference team. UNLV is tied for 3rd in the country with 11 interceptions. The Irish have FBS low 2 takeaways this season. The Rebels have already doubled their victories total from the past 2 seasons combined.
Where's this game been played at?
At Notre Dame.
South Bend, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, South Bend.
But I mean, it's not a guarantee of victory because they already lost 2 games at home. They lost to Marshall, and they just lost their,
That loss to Marshall, I think Randy Moss spoke to the team and told them the story about him being recruited by Notre Dame, and he inspired the Thundering Herd. We are Marshall.
I thought it was the 1969 team. The Spirit Party came in there and helped them out.
It probably did. But Randy, his dandy, had something to do with it as well. But I'm gonna give the Golden Domers a chance because I watched Rudy this week for a little inspiration in the sports life since my baseball Cardinals have left us. But I'm gonna give Notre Dame a fighting shot today. I'm going with the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, I got Notre Dame in this one too. I just can't see UNLV going into Notre Dame to do the same thing what Marshall did. I
tell you what, UNLV school partiers, just have fun in South Bend. They can kick it there. All I'm saying, they can kick it. So last night I bet they had fun. Don't let South Bend, Indiana, fool you. Those Catholic kids can party.
So we both got the Golden Domers. Hey, let's take apart a little bit of this game here. West Virginia at Texas Tech. Both teams are high-power offense. The over and under in this game is 65.5.
God dang it, Gump. That sounds good.
This game, 60.5 is the over and under. This game it will be played at 3:00 p.m. at Texas Tech. West Virginia is on the road. This game is in Lubbock, Texas.
The Red Raiders.
The ESPN predictor is kind of split on this one. They can pick Texas Tech University 58.4 to 41.6. We know West Virginia is just Jekyll and Hyde team. Also, we don't know which team will show up. Will it be the high-powered team that shows up, or will it be a team that throws a lot of turnovers to the other team? So we don't know which team will show up in this ball game. How do you predict this game here?
Old Southern style, old shootout in Texas. Got my beef jerky here this morning. We're gonna have old shootout down here in Texas as them Red Raiders welcome them old West Virginia Mountaineers.
I mean, you gotta look at both of them shoot guns. One shoots a black powder gun, the other one shoots a real gun.
I was infatuated with West Virginia when Will Greer left Florida. I fell in love with West Virginia. And then rumor came out until somebody spoiled it that Archie Manning was going to go to the WV. So I fell in love with WV. They let me down. Texas Tech, they put points on the board. And I love that 60.5. I'm loving it.
If you look at it, dude, West Virginia puts points on the board. They score more than what Texas Tech doing per game. West Virginia scores 39.0 to 34.3 for Texas Tech, but West Virginia's defense is giving up more points at 31.3 per game to 29.8 for Texas Tech. So that's why you see the up and over is very high, because both teams can't play defense either.
Right. I love this. That's why I'm getting over. I'm giving over in this one. Give me that money. Let me get that money.
Well, if you look at the total breakdown, both teams over 400 some yards total offense. The breakdown for West Virginia is 271 for passing and 191 for rushing, and 365 yards for Texas Tech to 119 for Texas Tech in rushing. But in total defense, West Virginia's giving up 374.5 yards total defense, and Texas Tech is giving up 367 points. If you want to break that down, West Virginia is giving up 262.5 yards passing to 220.5 for Texas Tech, and West Virginia is only giving up 112 rushing to 146.5. So if I was West Virginia and I look at that rushing number for Texas Tech, I'll see how my running back will fare against that rush defense.
For sure. You have to. This is a light 'em up game. This will be over 1,000 yards of offense combined in this game. This is going to be a shootout. I think probably 5-6 years ago, Houston and Texas Tech put up almost 1,500 yards of total offense in that game.
Yep.
I'm not saying it's going to be that, but I can feel like a 985 to 1,025 matchup in this game for his total offense combined.
Yeah.
Easily a 10 turnover day. Easily.
Okay. The only two common components so far this year for between Texas Tech and West Virginia is the University of Texas, which Texas Tech beat Texas 37-34 in overtime, which West Virginia lost 38-20 at the beginning of the month of October. So that's the common component of the two teams right there. So the temperature today will be 73 degrees in Lubbock, Texas. Who you got in this one?
It's going to get a bit nippy. I'm definitely going over for the over the 60.5. I'm going over that. And I'm going to go with These are both nasty teams. Give me Texas Tech.
You're going to take Texas Tech?
Yeah.
You're going to take the Red Raiders?
Yeah, I love that.
I'm going with the Mountaineers. I'm going old fashioned. I'm going with the musket. I'm going with the black powder.
You're going with WV. You're going with the WV. The WV.
Yeah, I'm going with the Mountaineers. I think the Mountaineers will come out and play, because the only reason I'm doing this is because they played good against Baylor. They beat Baylor 43-40 in West Virginia. So I think West Virginia will come out and win this ball game. I think they're running high. All right, who you have, Rice or Louisiana Tech?
Give me Lock Tech in the building.
Yeah, I'm going with Louisiana Tech that too. All right, this is a good one to break down. Number 7, Ole Miss goes into, which if you ask LSU, they got the original Death Valley at Baton Rouge, Louisiana. How do you see this game playing? You got Kiffin and you got Kelly. on the other side. Two contrasts of style of offense.
You know, if Brian Kelly don't shut the hell up, I mean, he already did the Giddy and lost the recruit, and now he did the self-imposed pimp. We're gonna do the right thing by the people down here in the corridors of Louisiana law. And now he wants to go out and say we need to stop instant replay in college football. They ruin the game. If you don't shut the hell up, if you don't be quiet, I tell you. I think because you on probation and you went and took this ban for a year doesn't mean you get out here and go ahead and speak against the Zebra Committee. Can you do something for LSU? Can you do something for the Bayou Bengals? Please. Please. I want Ole Miss to put LSU in their place this weekend. That's what I want to happen. I want Oxford, Mississippi to rise up.
Right now, I haven't seen the comment from the guy that said if I wear this thing for the 1,000 stars, I haven't seen him show up yet, and nobody comment. If y'all want to comment on games, go ahead and comment. We'll bring it up here. We'll talk about it. I'm still waiting for my 1,000 stars because I have proven my point that I am. Now he needs to step up and prove his point that he's going to give us 1,000 stars on the thing. So I have been wearing this wig since the start of the telecast. So, and if you don't believe me, I have proof. Because my man, before he came on, Dre Montez said that. Awesome. So I could tell you, I've been wearing this thing since the first time because Dre don't show up until about 3 or 4 minutes into the broadcast because he's got to get his stuff ready to go. I like to bring him on too with the Godfather of Soul himself. I got to bring a big intro for him because he is a big megastar in the world of sports. So, got to bring it into the right way.
Without sports, we would be nothing. So thank you, Sports World. Without sports, to all my podcasters and live streamers out there, without sports, we would be nothing.
Yeah, because there's a lot more sports podcasters than it is anything else out there.
And all these athletes you're already an athlete. Stay off our stage.
Hey, they trying to chime in because they're big stars, so they can get the big name people, keeping the small people down.
Already got a platform. They're gonna say, "Well, I'm bringing a platform to the podcast world." You got 8 major movies. You already have a platform, you moron.
Yeah, my big news so far, I forgot to tell people, I will be starting college again for my Dan Patrick Sports certification at Full Sail University for my bachelor's degree. So I am going to be a full-fledged sports broadcaster when this degree is over. That's what I am going for. That's what I'm picking up for. So these telecasts will be even more better as we move forward, as I move forward into the program itself. So I'm looking forward to that. Starts on Monday for me. But let's continue here. Ole Miss comes in at 7-0, 3-0 in conference play. They are on top of the west side of the SEC. Alabama's looking up to them right now. But we got to talk about this game in hand. We can't get no further than that because on the horizon for Ole Miss, and I don't know why I'm bringing this up because it's on the horizon. After this game, they play Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M at Kyle Field. Then they got home against number 6 Alabama in 2 weeks. So you can't look ahead as your Ole Miss old rebels here. You got to play your games that are on schedule here. LSU is better than what people thought it would be with Jalen Daniels.
Like who?
Hey, from the first game of Florida State game, LSU didn't look. I mean, they looked all right, but they didn't look as a world beaters.
Gotcha.
But they did beat. I hate to do this to you, man, but you did pick your Florida Gators and they lost again.
Oh yeah, I know.
So, yeah, if I was you, I would pick against the Gators if you want them to win.
You sound like a parent in the 1970s. Don't be telling me about my kids. I know about my Gators.
But anyway, LSU won 45-35 last week. But on the other hand, Ole Miss just came away with a victory against Auburn, 48-34, which the game was closer than what people thought it was going to be. Two contrasts of styles here. Ole Miss's bounce of 231 yards, 0.4 in yards passing, and 271.4. They're a balanced offense. But you got to watch out for LSU. And you got to watch out for the Tigers at Tiger Stadium. They call it the real Death Valley. Depends on what fans you talk to, Clemson or them. But still, how do you see Kiffin and the defense just chop Jalen Daniels and the offense of LSU?
That I don't think the concentration needs to be there because, again, LSU has nothing to lose in this matchup at all. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. It's all on Ole Miss playing the right type of ball, what they've been doing so far. And I like what they've been doing so far. I have not paid attention for like 2 games to Ole Miss. Maybe I did that on purpose and by mistake, but I saw the highlights and I like what I see, and I like this matchup in this game.
Yeah, if you look at it too, the only ranked team that both teams has played, Ole Miss side, they played number 7 University of Kentucky. They won 22-19. On the other side, LSU lost their number 8 Tennessee 40-13. So that's the ranked opponents that they have played so far this season by both teams. Ole Miss is coming off the last 2 weeks against Vanderbilt and Auburn. LSU is coming off the last 2 weeks against number 8 Tennessee, which is number 3 Tennessee, and the Florida Gators.
Right.
So 2-0 the last 2 games for Ole Miss, 1-1 for LSU. Which Tiger team are we going to see? Are we going to see the Tiger team that played against Tennessee, or are we going to see the Tiger team that played against Florida?
Tiger team that probably played against Tennessee. I could see that. Not against Florida. I like what Ole Miss brings to the table on the offensive side. I do like the sex appeal that LSU has on defense. I like that. And I'm in love with their special teams. It's the offense that I have a problem with LSU. All that hype that Kelly brings to the table, I'm not seeing it yet. You said you can cook. Why the food tastes this bad? What's going on? So that's the point I'm at with LSU.
I think the problem with that is you don't know which accent to bring.
He faking his accent like Madonna and what's her name? The most Winona Ryder.
Yeah. But if you look at the common opponent for these two teams, Auburn is the common opponent for both teams. LSU beat Auburn 21-17, but Ole Miss gave up 34 points to Auburn, but they won 48-34. So,
right.
So I mean, Ole Miss pretty much looks to try to outscore you. LSU could do it, but if they play against a stellar team like Ole Miss defense, I don't think they put enough points into this thing either. I think Kiffin is going to be riding high on this one. I got Ole Miss in this one. Would you? So you taking Ole Miss too?
As well. Give me Ole Miss.
I think the Southern accent for Brian Kelly is not going to faze anybody today. So I think they go into LSU and take the victory here.
Classic of things here. My fellow Louisianians here, we're going to get on down and do things the right way. As my old grandpapa used to tell me, you always can't get sugar if you put water with it.
That is true. That is true. All righty, man. Now, this is the most fun game going to be all day. Really, this is the game I'm looking forward to. Today at 3:30 on Fox. Temperature in Eugene, Oregon is going to be 50 degrees. It is Brian Kelly going back to Eugene, Oregon, to the University of Oregon, to Autzen Stadium, with bringing his number 9 UCLA Bruins coming in at 6-0, 3-0 in the Pac-12 against the number 10 Oregon, who is 5-1. The only loss to the University of Georgia, and they're 3-0 also in the Pac-12. What do you see in this ball game? How this is going to be? Game day is there at Eugene. They've been there all morning. We've seen it when it's dark. It's daylight out there. We are right now at almost 7:30 in Eugene, and it's 10:29 on the East Coast, and it's 9:29 on where you're at. So we already got all that covered here. We got the temperature covered. What do you see in UCLA, and how can they beat Oregon at Eugene? Because Chip Kelly has a hard time coming back to his former play and win games there. Is this the same thing going to happen today? Is Bo Nix going to be a different Bo Nix? It's going to be the same Bo Nix he has been since the game after Georgia. He has been on a tear here the last few weeks. What does UCLA have to do to stop Oregon?
I dig me some Chip Kelly. I mean, that's my man. I mean, what he did up there at O'Regan, as I like to call it, O'Regan, and that was at one time one of my son's favorite college football team, my oldest son, Stormy. And what Chip Kelly brought to college football in that part of the region was different and special, and nobody ever seen it before. That fast, with that much consistency, give you results that way. You know, he was results-driven and industry-approved when it came to offensive proficiency in college football. And now since he took his talents to California, at first I was like, this is not going to work. Maybe he's still pissed off what happened in the NFL with Philly. But I think now he's been rejuvenated in a different way of getting people around him that understand his football mindset and the reason why we do things this way. But this is the Kelly Bowl. I mean, this is what I started and this is what I'm doing type of situation. And I'm liking the outcome. Again, I was really optimistic about him getting this job, but now I'm all about UCLA and Chip Kelly being together. I like this matchup. I like the ceremony. I love this game. I love the time it is too. It's going to be coherent time. Since the birthday party starts at 3, I better pay attention to this damn game today. And I'm going with UCLA. Give me some Chip and the Kelly.
Well, we look at it this way. The quarterback situation is pretty close. Thompson, Robinson, 122 out of 163 attempts, 1,510 yards passing, 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Bo Nix, on the other hand, is 131 out of 186, 1,526 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. But if you look at it, too, the tip goes at the hand to, was that Charbonnet? The running back for UCLA, 87 carries, 615 yards to Irvin, 60 carries for 429 yards. But also, you got to worry about Bo Nix's legs, too, in this ball game. How does Chip Kelly bring his team into the play of this game, and how do you pass rush Bo Nix, and how you keep him in the pocket instead of using his legs?
He's one of those guys, man. He's dangerous, as we talked about in the earlier matchup today with quarterbacks. When you apply that pressure, you try to box him in and push him up the middle. He's one of those guys that can step and throw into the punch, meaning make a good throw, especially hurt you on the outside and deep down the field. And I don't think anybody wants that to happen. If you get him on the run, he can hurt you, especially on the outside. What you want to do is get him to run back to the middle, and that's when Turner was occurring.
Yeah, if you look at that scenario, yes. But if you look at this scenario here, points per game by both teams. Oregon's averaging 42 points a game to UCLA's 41.5, so they're pretty close. Defense is pretty close, but on a little bit of the end goes to advanced UCLA, who's only giving up 22.7 to Oregon's 28.8. But you also got to remember, too, that Oregon is that 28.8 came against – some of that points came against Georgia. So it's been a little bit of difference between that Georgia game all the way up to now here. If you look at the team here, UCLA has beaten number 15 Washington and number 11 Utah the last 2 weeks. Oregon has come in and only beat BYU, the only ranked team they have, but they beat Wazoo, Stanford, and Arizona in the last 3 weeks. So, but they've been scoring points, but the defense has been giving up less points except for that Wazoo game. The Wazoo game up in Wazoo was 44-41. That's the most points they've given up so far since that Georgia game. Other than that, they've been scoring 41, 44, 45, 49. UCLA's been putting points on the board, too, the last 3 weeks against Colorado, 45, against Washington, 40, and against Utah, 42. So UCLA's tested.
This is going to be a testing game. Emotions could run high. It's one of those games because, I mean, we're going into the house that Kelly built. You know, he had a lot of influence on that program there. So emotions could run high just a little bit.
Yeah, if you look at some of the thing here, let's see what stacks up in this game here. It is the first game between two ranked teams in the top 10 at Ogden Stadium since number 3 Oregon defeated number 7 Michigan State in 2014. And first at Oregon between two top Pac-12 teams since the number 4 Ducks beat the number 9 Stanford in 2010. The Ducks, who are coming off a bye week, have a 22-game winning streak at home, third largest active streak in the nation, and 1 win away from tying the school record. UCLA is also coming off a bye week. So both teams coming off a bye week. So that's going to be very interesting to see what kind of style will they implement into the game plan today. Is looking for their first win in Eugene since 2004. So that's a long streak right there for UCLA not winning in Eugene. Let's look at some of the players to watch here. Like I said, UCLA's quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson threw for 4 touchdowns and ran for another in Bruins' 42-32 victory over number 11 Utah at the Rose Bowl 2 weeks ago. He now has the school record for passing touchdowns with 76. Thompson-Robinson leads the nation with completion percentage of .748. How does Oregon stop his completion rate to make him under that .74%?
You gotta figure out a way to distract him. Some kind of way you gotta cause a distraction, whether that's up front or the linebackers are taking place there, but you gotta figure out a way to distract him, to slow him down.
And this game will be on Fox TV today. They just put that in there. They just put it on there saying it because right now it was blank. Now they just put it up there said Fox will be carrying this game today. So I just want to let everybody. This game is at 3:30 at Ogden Stadium in Eugene, Oregon, and it's on Fox. So that means Kirk Hershey has to travel from Eugene to wherever ABC game of the night of the game is. So he's going to be on the move here shortly after this game day to get to where his place is going to be at today. But let's continue on with this thing here. Also, you got to worry about the quarterback. Bo Nix is the player to watch for Oregon, has thrown for 12 touchdowns and rushed for 8. He's one of the 12 Power 5 quarterbacks who have many passing and rushing scores through 6 games. His 8 rushing TDs are second most in the Pac-12 against Arizona on October 8th. Nix rushed for 3 scores. So, my friend, he can do it in the air, passing for touchdowns, and he can do it with his legs scoring touchdowns. He is a double trouble right now. He's on fire. Bo Nix is away from the SEC. He is on fire right now. So you got 2 quarterbacks who are on fire. So which quarterback will have advantage today?
I can see Nix having a better day today. And again, I like the fact that he's finally getting comfortable with a different atmosphere and taking advantage of the situation. And it seems to be getting to a comfortable situation for him. So I like that. So I can see Nix having a great day.
And if you look at it this way too, this will be the first time because they have found the speed back at Oregon. They are now running the high and fly Mighty Ducks offense back in pass with speed and percentages. But on the other hand, their defensive-minded head coach has got that defense playing better since that first game against Georgia. How does UCLA have to attack the high-flying Ducks? And does it come to them keeping the ball on the ground to keep the Ducks offense on that sideline?
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams can light it up offensively. They both can. I think this could be a sneak, high-scoring game when it comes to the combined score. But both teams also can take advantage of you making a mistake, and I think that Ole Miss has the advantage in that point. But this is one of those games. If you're going to put it away, you got to put it away. If Baylor's Oregon allowed to hang into this game, it's going to get a little bit more difficult for Ole Miss to win this game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I like to go with the fun facts here in this thing is that Oregon hasn't downed a top 10 team at home since beating number 7 Washington in overtime in 2018. The Ducks have won 3 straight against the Bruins. Oregon, or what you call Oregon, ranks 10th nationally in rushing offense, 14th in National League rushing defense. UCLA running back Zach Charbonnet leads the Pac-12 with an average of 123 rushing yards per game. Bruins coach Chip Kelly has been the head coach at Oregon from 2009 to 2012. He led the Ducks to the national championship game in 2010. That's your little bit of facts and figures of this ball game here. So you're taking the Bruins, correct? Am I correct on that?
Give me UCLA beating Oregon.
I'm taking Oregon. So I think UCLA's. I think Oregon's on a hot run. I think UCLA's hot run ends because you give Oregon 2 weeks to figure out how to stop Chip Kelly, but you also give Chip Kelly 2 weeks to stop Oregon's. But I think the high-flying Ducks going to repay their old coach with the backfire of his own style of offense today. All right. This is a top 20 matchup. It is number 20, Texas against number 11, Oklahoma State at 3:30 on the ABC. The Cowboys against the Longhorns and Stillwater. How do we look at this ball game here? I have heard some Oklahoma fans are going for Oklahoma State because they don't want the Hook'em Horns to get another win against their state. So
welcome. I got to go with OK State in this matchup. Texas is another school. I don't know what's going on. I mean, they have the money to get the resources that they need to fix this madness. And I don't know why they don't want to go after it. Because in order to win, you got to spend money. You got to compete. And that requires money. If you want to better yourself, you got to spend money. And Texas is not one of those programs that want to do that. Now I'm moving forward. There's more questions and concerns there than solutions, I do believe. OK State, this could be their game. This would be record breaking. When the last time Texas has been shut out twice in the season?
Been a while. Been
a long time. And that's a bad thing considering what Texas was at 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Did we see this program diving this far down the hole of competing in college football? There's no way possible. I mean, it's like motivation is there, not there. There's no leadership there. There's the want and will to play football. It's just like they just there wasting time.
Well, to answer your question, did he spend money? Yeah, they spent money on a big recruit and Archie Manning, who's picked to come to Texas. So they picked his visit cost Texas $245,000 up front, plus a NIL probably going to be worth over. They say probably about $2.5 to $4.5 million once he signs that onto that dotted line in Texas. So if you say Texas not spending money, somebody in the booster is spending some money for Archie Manning.
Wow, we gotta wait. We gotta wait 2 years to get results in Texas. Give me OK State. Give me them Cowboys.
But, I mean, right now, Card has been playing pretty good since taking over for Elder. Elder is out. He's still out right now. Card is 74 out of 107, 923 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's not turning the ball over, but once time a game. But Sanders, the other quarterback for Cowboys, 120 out of 205, 1,639 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. But my man, the man for Texas that you got to keep in count, who is carrying the team on his back, is B.J. Robinson, the running back. 138 carries, 780 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Who could cut on a dime? He reminds me of Barry Sanders, who could cut on a dime, who played at Oklahoma State University. So, but you got to. And Richardson is the running back of 108 carries for 427 yards and 5 touchdowns. But that ratio, 108 carries for 427 yards, doesn't impress me as that 138 carries for 780 yards and 10 touchdowns. So, but if you look at the receiving card, Worthy for the receiving for Texas, he's 32 receptions, 432 yards and 6 touchdowns. To Johnson's 20 receptions, 398 yards and 3 touchdowns. So, Texas got the receiving. Texas got the running back. Sanders, the quarterback, is the only bright spot for Oklahoma State. So, I mean, is it going to be business in the front and party in the back today in Stillwater? You say you're going to go okay. So you say it's going to be business in the front and party in the back with that mullet on.
Stillwater, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, let me tell you this for the fact. I have looked at every single game, and he's matchup predicted on ESPN. This is the only road game that they have predict. 66% Texas is going to beat Oklahoma State at 34% at home. So ESPN going with it. You sure?
Positive. They're not winning this game. Texas has not been motivated all year. Maybe this is a plot and a ploy and a plan of that, well, next year. This is a version of tanking in college football because they know something wicked this way is coming for next season.
Well, my friend, not so fast. What Lee Carso says here. Not so fast, my friend. This is the only time Texas goes into Oklahoma this year. They're going to take it out like they took it out the Sooners in Texas at the thing.
America.
I think Texas is suited to come into Oklahoma because they want to sweep the state of Oklahoma this year. So that's their motivation for Texas coming in this ball game today. I think Texas do come out win. I think B.J. Robinson is going to have a bigger day than what people thought against Gundy's defense. So there wouldn't have been no business in the front, and there won't be no fun in the back for Stillwater today.
Give me OK State all day. Let's go OK State.
I think it'd be more interesting if Gundy puts his hair on the line against Texas today. If Oklahoma loses, he shaves his head all off. Like WWE style, you know.
Hair on the line.
Put the hair on the line. Cut it all off.
Come to the other side. Into me, I see.
All right, let's go ahead. Number 13, Wake Forest. Did they have any problem against Boston College today? Playing their Demon Deacons.
Give me the Demon Deacons. They better not.
Yeah, I think the high-flying power Demon Deacons at home will win this ball game. Memphis at number 25. Yes, I said it. Number 25, Tulane.
The posse. Memphis Tigers. Give me Tulane in this one.
They're playing at the Green Wave, so
Wave it green, kids. Wave it green and smoke.
All right, this is another interesting game here. Two different styles of play here. Does BYU at Liberty, does that do anything for you? Huge freeze against BYU at Liberty in Roanoke, Virginia today.
Roanoke, they make everything disappear, not just the people, but college football careers. Give me BYU. Give me them Cougars. Roar, baby. Roar.
So you saying that the Christian School of Liberty is not going to help them today?
No.
I got BYU too. I don't think even though
he's storming with the Mormons. We're storming with the Mormons.
BYU. All right, Purdue at Camp Randall in Wisconsin at 3:30 on ESPN. Does that do anything for you today?
I don't know what's going on with that Wisconsin volleyball team situation, but I'm going with Wisconsin in this one.
Yeah, I think the mistake of Camp Randall, I can't go against them. I think they beat Purdue today. This is an interesting game, too, in the Big Ten. Northwestern at Maryland at 3:30. Let's talk about that game a little bit on the Big Ten Network. Let's talk about Tagovailoa's brother here at Maryland. What is his status he's doing? Let's talk about Maryland and this game a little bit here. Let's break this game down.
Okay.
We haven't broken the Terps down in a while. We know Northwestern hasn't won since they played in Ireland. So they haven't won on the U.S. soil.
Since the Truman administration.
They're 1-0 overseas. They're 0-5 in the United States. Northwestern is so far.
Since the Truman administration.
I want to talk about something. Is Fitzgerald the coach at Northwestern? Is he on the hot seat right now?
No, but I love it. He has great hat hair. I like Fitzgerald. He's a good dude. Good dude. I don't know. I mean, he is Northwestern, but in collegiate football, if you're not, I guess, satisfying the masses, the boosters, there would be problems. There would be difficult times in moving and getting the pieces you need to complete the puzzle and get the job done. I don't want to say hot seat, but someone that involved in the process of you losing your job will be close by today.
But, I mean, if you look at it, too, Northwestern's defense is they give up more points than Northwestern scores.
It's not good math. It's not how it's supposed to be done. I like that.
Look, the defense at Northwestern gives up 27.7. Their offense only scores 17.7.
That's not a balanced attack at all. At all.
No, because they can't run the ball. They only averaging 112 rushing yards to 282 passing. But Maryland runs the ball 159 yards per game and 299 yards passing. So they are more a complete team than Northwestern. They can get it done on the run and the ground. But Northwestern's giving up 406 yards total offense, 238 by the air, 176 by the ground. And Maryland only gives up 383, but 276 of it is through the air, and 106 on the ground. So,
sounds like to me that someone's giving up on the run a little bit early. In the other team, Maryland is sticking with the run. That's what it seems like to me. Some teams give up on it too early and not get nowhere, because if you get yourself in that 2nd and 8 and 2nd and 7 too much, you panic and think you ought to throw the ball now on 2nd down instead of believing in your run game. Now on 3rd and 2, instead of you running the ball, now you're trying to complete a damn 8-yard, 10-yard pass play when there's no need for that.
Yeah, if you look at this thing here, Maryland can reach bowl eligibility in October, which said a lot about the program's progress and the coach Mike Loxley's 4th season. Standout quarterback Tua Tagovailoa left last week's game with a knee injury, so if he's unable to play, the snap would go to backup Billy Edwards. So they have not said this is if he's going to play yet or not. This is a game time situation, taking it all the way up because of Northwestern have to prepare for both quarterbacks. That is a smart game plan. So
Tua had 2 other brothers. He got 2 other brothers in college.
No, he has a brother at Maryland named Taulia Tagovailoa. He left the game last week. Billy Edwards is his replacement.
I thought it was one at Clemson too. I thought it was another one at Clemson. Did he transfer?
No, I don't think so. That's Ugalea at Clemson.
Oh, okay. All right. See.
That's Ugalea. Not Tagovailoa. But Ugalea, whatever his name. I mean, it's kind of hard.
Okay, gotcha.
I think I got it close, but not quite with his name down there at Clemson.
Reggie and Tyrone. I'm gonna call it Reggie and Tyrone. Tyrone in NFL. All right, Reggie, he good today.
But Tua Tagovailoa, I had to pronounce it, break it down in syllables to pronounce it correctly. Last week he left the game with a knee injury. Billy Edwards is his backup. So now does that concerns Maryland a little bit if he can't go today, but that's going to be huge for Northwest because we don't know how Billy Edwards can play.
Exactly. I love when there's no film footage or the film staff don't have enough time to get something together for a defensive game plan. So it could be a surprising method on both sides. Look what's open. Or the defense could be like, oh my God, this kid can't read anything. Let's get him. It could be a hunting spree or target practice for the quarterback, meaning he's going to pick you apart defensively. But I like Fear of the Turtle, that being Maryland. I love the helmets, and nobody loved them when they first came out. Nobody did. Everybody gave that helmet the best rap ever, worst rap ever. But I like Maryland in this matchup. I really do. I like Maryland. And I like Northwestern coach, Fitzgerald. I don't want him to get fired. He has good hat hair. Keep him around.
Yeah, we know you all about your hat hair and stuff like that. But I see why I cut my hair short now. God, this is hot. I like to stay cool a little bit, and stuff. But that's okay though. I'm doing it for a good cause. But so far, the good cause, the person hasn't shown back up yet. So I'm still waiting for him to show up with his. I put my mouth where my money is. Can he do the same? So that's the question here. Can he come up before the show is in and say, "Hey, the dude did it. I got to honor this bet." So,
right.
But I don't know if he figured how much 1,000 stars cost. So it might took him out of his budget. But anyway, it's for a good cause. But anyway, I like to have fun on the show. And you never know, I might wear a blue hair wig next week.
I dyed my hair one time.
There you go.
With John Elway. Oh, man.
There you go. I might wear that.
For Halloween, huh?
Oh, I got face paint to put on. I got face paint. When I wear this right here, I wear it with face paint.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to do my Halloween costume for next Saturday show then.
Yeah, I might have to do the same.
Yeah.
If I do that, then I have to shave all this off because mine doesn't look too good with facial hair. So, let's see here. Mike Duplay, Lynn said, "Hey guys, happy Saturday. Big games today. UMass versus New Mexico State, biggest game on the schedule." I don't know if that's the biggest game on the schedule, but okay.
The Minutemen versus the Lobos.
Hey, when we get to that, we'll break that down for you. We'll break that down when we get to it. We haven't got that far yet. We're working our way down the schedule right now. We're right now talking about the Fear of the Terps and Northwestern, and Tula Tagovailoa's Tua's brother is injured, so we're going to figure that out here momentarily. He said who we got. We'll tell you that momentarily when we break that game down for you a little bit, get you ready for that game. Let's go. Yes, we are ready. We are ready, up and running here. So Maryland's running back, Roman Hammy, has the big play threat in a running game and could even be important this week if Tua Tagovailoa is limited. How do you see Northwestern stopping the running back of Maryland?
My friends are idiots, man. You know, being my birthday, I'm trying to listen to you and pay attention to my phone. Everybody's texting me and telling me happy birthday. But to stop Maryland's running game, you saying that was the question?
Yeah.
How can they stop Maryland's running game? Because right now they don't know the quarterbacking situation, so the running game may be overemphasized. They're going to double up in the box, I'll tell you that. And if I'm Maryland's offensive coordinator and I know my quarterbacking situation, I'm giving you some options. I'm giving you the ability. I'm not talking about an option play. I'm talking about the ability for you to use your QB IQ. If you see anything in that defensive setup that you've seen before, knowing what you know and you know how to beat that, do it. Because we don't have a complete game plan for you. I'm giving you the ability to do that. And I like that. Because that happens sometimes. You ever hear quarterbacks talking about that something happened in the game and they say, well, coach told me if I see a scenario that I'm familiar with and I know how to beat it, I'm free to call an audible to beat that play if it's not the play that I have right now to call. I've heard a lot of quarterbacks do that, successfully won at the collegiate level and in NFL, say things like that when they were in college.
Yeah, I look at it this way too. To me, I think Maryland, renaming Bird Stadium to SECS Stadium is a big no-no for me. I like Bird Stadium. They changed the name from Bird Stadium to the new name is SECU Stadium. They changed it from Bird Stadium to SCU Stadium.
I tell you what, people with money just do dumb shit sometimes. Dumb.
So I still call it Bird Stadium because that's the way I grew up. That's the way I watched. You still got Coles Field House that they changed. You know, so I mean, to me, it's the same stadium with a different name, but I call it Bird Stadium. I think it's a whole lot better, a whole lot more mystique than just calling it SECCU Stadium. I mean, that just sounds boring. But this game, I think Maryland will keep Northwestern for not winning on the United States soil. The only one win is overseas. I think they should move out of Northwestern, out of Chicago, and go overseas because they have a better chance of winning there right now because they are losing right now. I think they keep losing here. I think the Fear of the Terps, yes, you call them Fear of the Terps, 61 degrees at College Park, Maryland today. I think the Terps will win. You got Maryland too?
Yes, Fear the Turtle.
All righty. Let's move right along. Western Michigan at Miami, Ohio.
Give me Miami, Ohio. Big Ben.
Yeah, I think Big Ben's Skull Automata will win today too. I'm going to take them also in this ball game. Marshall at James Madison up in Harrisburg, Virginia today.
We are Marshall. Give me Marshall.
You're going to take Marshall. I think Marshall will go in and win, but I'm debating here. I'm either flipping between Marshall and James Madison. But I think I might help you out a little bit. I need you to get closer to me. I like the competition. I don't like to get too far ahead. So I'm going with James Madison in this one.
You're going to go to James Madison to help me.
Yeah,
show the score one more time for the people that tuned in late. Show the score. So
I gotta help this guy. Because look, this right here, this is the lead. I am dominating right now.
This is fucking pathetic what I'm doing. Pathetic. This is awful.
This is the second year I have pulled way ahead.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna come back around.
So I gotta help him out a little bit. So but when I say I'm gonna help him out a little bit, I end up winning that game.
Hey, when your doctor tells you happy birthday, you're important. Thank you, Doc.
He's telling you happy birthday because he wants to see you.
I have a female doctor, by the way. Female doctor.
She wants I don't know. Female doctor. Is it time for your colonoscopy?
No, that was 2 years ago. No, what?
Because you know what?
I did at 45.
Hey, you might have a female doctor, but she might say, okay, you bend over, and she brings in a male doctor to do it instead.
I did that 7 years ago. They all colonoscopy. Wow, that means when your doctor calls you your doctor on a Saturday, that's all.
Oh, she wants to see you. She needs to see you.
We're not on the docket until February.
All right, Georgia Southern at Old Dominion. How do you see this one?
My good friend Cassie Joe went to Georgia Southern. I'm gonna roll with Georgia Southern.
You know what I say? When you roll on Hampton Boulevard and you go towards Old Dominion, you better have a police escort.
Your story about bad experiences in football is hilarious.
Dude, man, when Old Dominion started back football, I went to the game, and I thought I was going to come out of that place alive. You know. But anyway.
When I went to the Super Bowl in Miami after Denver beat Atlanta on the way back, walking back, some scary parts in downtown. Well, by that stadium in Miami. Scary parts.
Oh, I know. That's why I paid the $50 to park on the stadium property.
Oh, you took a risk.
Yeah, I took a risk. I paid
I'm
the money.
That camera from that Super Bowl because I got a picture with Barrel Man. I have a picture with Barrel Man, and I got to find that. I found these old cameras that I had from marriages past, and I got to get this film developed. And I think I got to get a lawyer when I put this film in to go get it because there's no telling what's on.
All right, Florida International at Charlotte. Who you got in this one?
Since a majority of my children live in a Cackalack, give me them 49ers.
Yeah, I'm taking the 49ers in this one too. North Texas at UTSA, the University of Texas at San Antonio. Who you got?
University of Texas, San Antonio at who?
North Texas.
Be North Texas in this one. North Texas.
I'm going to take UTSA in this one. They're playing at home. Vanderbilt at Missouri. In your state, where you live at.
What happened to Vandy, I won money off of them getting shut out. I picked that game. I won money on that game. Mizzou, another team, I don't know who the hell they are from week to week. They're a different football team every week. But I tell you what, Luther. Give the ball to Luther Burden. Luther Burden. So I'm going Mizzou. M-I-Z-Z-O-U. And it was my buddies Brandon, who's a huge Mizzou fan. The counselor is a huge Mizzou fan. They both went to Mizzou. I believe in Mizzou. Mizzou's going to get the victory. But feed Luther Burden. Feed him, Luther Burden.
Arizona State travels to Stanford. Who you got in the Pac-12 this time? This is on the Pac-12 network.
You know, I'm a little pissed at the whole situation that happened at Arizona State with my man, da-da-da. We play the game, Herm Edwards. I didn't like that exit strategy. I didn't like the way you conducted yourself. ASU, you're better than that. He deserved better than that. So, of course, I'm not going with them.
All right, we both got Stanford here. The 808 Hawaii travels to Colorado State at 4 o'clock in Colorado. Are you taking the 808 area code people of University of Hawaii?
Give me UH, baby. Give me Hawaii, baby, all day.
Yeah, I was stationed. Shaka, brother. I was there for 4 years at Pearl Harbor. I was stationed there from 1994 to 1997. I caught University of North Carolina Tar Heel basketball team playing at the Special Events Arena, opened up that new stadium there. So I got to see Dean Smith to coach a game at Hawaii, University of Hawaii. So, I'm picking the Rainbow Warriors here. But even though they tear down the Aloha Stadium, they supposed to be putting a new stadium in that place. So they tore down that. They're playing at their practice facility on the University of Hawaii campus this year. So, but they're playing in Colorado State. I have them beating Colorado State at 4 o'clock today. Florida Atlantic at University of Texas El Paso, playing at the University of Texas El Paso on ESPN Plus at 4 o'clock. Who you got?
Give me UTEP all day. UTEP all day.
Yeah, I'm taking UTEP, the Miners. Arkansas State will go to Louisiana. How you see this one at 5 o'clock ESPN Plus?
Give me Arkansas State.
You taking Arkansas State? I'm taking Louisiana. Southern Mississippi at Texas State at 5 o'clock ESPN Plus. You taking Texas State?
Yes, give me Texas State. HBCU.
Yeah, I can't do what Southern Miss did with Brett Favre and all that. That's still a bad taste in my mouth. I'm going with Texas State.
Explain yourself. Explain those text messages that we saw, that you sent. Explain that shit to me. Okay.
They had no explanation because he took funds away from people that needed it to get a volleyball stadium for his daughter. Self-explanatory.
I tell you what, it kind of reminded me of Felicity Huffman and those women getting caught paying these people to lie about their kids to get them in college. The things people with money do for their kids who don't want to do shit.
So let's see here. This guy said UMass versus New Mexico State today. Let me make sure that's right because my schedule showed today it was San Jose State versus New Mexico State. Let me check that. Let me fact check that real quick here. Let me go down to where I seen that.
By ASAP Sports.
Let's see here because this guy says I might have looked it wrong. I did type this up kind of late last night. I'm trying to find it right now. Hold on one second. What time is that game? That game's at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Let me go back here to 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Yeah, I might have missed that. So,
what game you miss?
Yeah, the San Jose State. And nope, I'm right. It was postponed. San Jose State game and New Mexico game has been postponed.
Yep, sure has. I see it right here.
Yeah. So that game was not going to be played. Fresno State and New Mexico, who you got?
Give me. They both 2-4. Give me New Mexico State.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Fresno. I think the Bulldogs are gonna come out with a victory at New Mexico here. All right, man. Let's talk about this game here. This is gonna be the interesting game here. How does Alabama come back off a loss and go up against Mike Leach and the Mississippi State playing at Alabama in Tuscaloosa today? How do you see this game going?
I have so many questions on how did the coaches survive this week and coaches meetings with Nick Saban. Was it by video only or did he just show up? And whoever the defensive coaches are and the offensive coaches, these guys have 31 penalties in 2 games. Nick Saban was shaking like the Energizer Bunny last week. He was so mad. If he's wearing a headset today, I would be impressed. This could be one of his games. He don't want to talk to no fucking body. He's just going to walk the sideline with no headset on. I can see him pulling it off today. He was embarrassed on so many levels. You let him down. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. And again, on the other side, I do blame and fault Tennessee for not putting that game away in the first quarter. They could have put that game away in the first quarter. Several opportunities, but they were trying to respect daddy even though they were at home. I'll explain that shit to me. But Zeta will come out here today and try to put a foot in the moment and try to be the bigger story in college football today. He's going to try to become the biggest story in college football today. Some kind of way. Watch.
And if you look at it this way, too, Paul Feinbaum sent a viral harsh word for Nick Saban in Alabama this week. I can't play it because it was very harsh. Plus, we don't have the rights to play it, so I can't play the thing.
Send that to me because at the Paul
actually, you can go to the ESPN, go to score, go to this game, and it's right there blasted on that page for the game breakdown. So you can go to that page. If anybody wants to see that, I will give you the link right here in this chat here.
Paul Feinbaum came out of a coffin, man, last week. That's going too far. With
that's the link. That's the link right there. You can get it from. That's in the chat itself. So, actually, I put it in the banner there. I'll do it that way, and then I'll put it in the chat too, so you can click it. Let me put it in the chat here.
Kind of like wingy.
There you go. I'll put it in the chat too, so you can copy from there also. So, yes, Feinbaum blasted it all to him. It said some harsh words, so I don't have the right to play it. I'll give it to you in the comments. So
when sports teams when things don't go the way we expect them to go, we lose our shit. We lose it. The team could win. If they didn't win the way we wanted them to win, they didn't utilize the players, didn't see the guy open, didn't complete the run, you missed that block, but still won the game, we still get irate. That is hilarious to me.
Yeah,
and then when teams lose, we don't see the opportunities they had to win the game.
Yeah, and if you look at this too, what is surprising is Will Rogers has better numbers than Bryce Young so far this year.
What about Deion Sanders' son? Look at his numbers. Why he isn't mentioned in the Heisman conversation. I mean, it happened with Steve McNair. It's not a rare feat to have an HBCU person on the Heisman watch list.
Let's see, Jackson State's quarterback. Let's see, Jackson State football stats. Let me bring up the stats because right now I don't have that right now. Let's see here, Jackson State football stats. Let's check this out here. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find his stats.
For that, I got to tell you my Hawaii story. I saw a Georgetown basketball team play on the base of Pearl Harbor. That was awesome. Met Coach Thompson, met Zoe. Awesome. Went to the Maui Classic. Awesome. When the hydro boat race came there, took my oldest daughter, Ladybug. She met Miss Buttweiser and the whole team pit crew when they found out we was in St. Louis. Awesome. Saw LaDainian Tomlinson Marshall Faulk run wild against Hawaii in Hawaii. Yay.
Okay, Deion Sanders' son has 186 completions to 253 attempts, 1,985 yards, 73.5% completion rate. He's averaging 7.8 yards per pass. 86 was his longest pass, 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's been sacked 9 times, and he has a RTG of a 165.0.
22 touchdowns and 4 picks. What's right, Bryce?
And then Will Rogers comes back with 22 228 completions out of 320 attempts, 2,324 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions.
2024. One ahead of him. One. And got him, less than 120 yards on passing?
Yeah.
He's putting up numbers, man. He's putting up numbers.
But to mention that, too, they're not mentioning him, or they have not mentioned Will Rogers in the Heisman candidate either.
Because, again, the voters – this is the Heisman push week, this week and next week, because it's rivalry week. So the next 2 weekends is the push to get on the board to go to New York. It's the push. That's why a lot of these teams who have Heisman candidates that are not on the board, or if they own the board, they want to move them even further on the board. They're going to try to get them to do things that's commonly out of the character. If you play to go to New York, sometimes that's not work in your favor to play on Sunday.
True. I mean, if you look at, you got some unbelievable quarterback plays. You got some unbelievable quarterback play this year. I mean, look at Drake May. He's 162 completion out of 231, 2,283 yards, 70. His completion rating is 70.1. He's averaging 9.9 per pass. As long as his 80 yards. He's got 24 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and he's been sacked 17 times though. But his quarterback rating is 184.8.
But this late in the year,
we
normally, at this point of the year, we're normally to the point, there are at least 3 people, definitely everybody's talking about Heisman. I don't think that's the focus anymore with these kids, because they know if they want to play on Sunday, they're going to cut it back. If the team is not doing well, the further we go in November. Come December, we're going to see a bunch of guys sitting out. If your name is not in that top trajectory of the Heisman poll right now, in the next 2 weeks, because I haven't seen any Heisman play yet. I've seen some good games, good plays, but on consistent level to be invited to New York, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, and if you keep on looking at this too, this game we're talking about here is Alabama's in average, 513 yards, total yards on offense, and giving up 296 on defense. Mississippi State has got 427 yards total offense and only giving up 375 things. So, but the key of this game here to me is going to be Gibson, the running back for Alabama. Can he run like he's been running in the few weeks? He has 88 carries, 635 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He is the key to go right now. Bryce Young is going to be Bryce Young. We know that. But if Will Rogers has a good game against this team and Mike Leach unleashes his passing attack against Alabama and Alabama cannot stop it, Will Anderson is going to be the key in this Alabama defense getting to the quarterback today. If he cannot get to the quarterback today, Will Rogers is the same kind of athlete that is Hendon Booker, who gave Alabama trouble with his arm.
It's like when kind of takes me to a basketball story when Shamgod showed everybody the transition of guard play, and it blew Mike Krzyzewski's mind. It's kind of like what happened with Johnny Manziel, changed Nick Saban's mind on the approach to defending a mobile quarterback like that. And it happened again with Hooker. And now he's on that timid pace. So he's going to try to make a statement in today's game, somehow, some way, for the defense to understand what I mean for you to stay in your lane and just do your job. Don't get excited. That's how I believe Alabama's going to play today defensively. Offensively now, I think the offense is going to try to be a little bit more explosive because the defense made so many mistakes the last 2 weekends. As far as play and penalties and understand the scenario. I don't know if you listened to saw the clip on his defense in an I formation, how they were confused. They didn't know what to do because no one runs an I formation anymore, according to Nick Saban and his approach to getting prepared for a game. His defense didn't know what to do when they saw that type of formation.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it too, and another thing too, analogy is it's hard to believe both teams are 1-1 against ranked teams this year.
Yeah, I mean, they say the talent pool bad at Bama or 5-star recruits to everybody else. The people, the talent that's waiting in line, like, hey, this line moving yet? That's anxious. They're excited. They're ready to play. But according to the recipes of Bama football and the cook and the chef, Nick Saban, this is a down year for them because they put the wrong people in the ingredients this year. And it's too late to go get the new recipe ingredients. So they're going to go ahead and just ease it on off and call this, as Paul Finbaum put this, how can Nick Saban and Bama have a bad year with the people that they have on that roster?
Now,
He
if
put
you
the
look
wrong
at
people in place.
now, if
That's
you look
his
at
fault.
this too, Nick Saban's he is 70 years old. He was born October 31st, 1951. So his birthday, he's going to be 71 come at the end of this month. So if you look at the people coaching, you got Bill Belichick in the NFL, he's 70. You got Pete Carroll, who's 71. But then if you look at Georgia's University of Georgia's head coach, he's 46 years old. So he's got a long time.
Hey, college is that life. You know, you can sign a big contract, get fired, and still get that guaranteed money. That's why I kind of want Texas to keep failing and failing. And they get so bad, they reach out to the impossible and turns into the improbable, and reaching out to the internet and go and hire a couple of podcasters to be their coach.
Yeah.
And they give us a lot of money.
And this is unusual. Both teams are coming off a loss to ranked teams. Mississippi State's coming off a loss 27-17 to number 22 University of Kentucky. And on the other side, Alabama's coming off a loss against number 6 Tennessee. So
there's so much shade going to be thrown at this team coming into the adversity, the messages, the hidden gems, the signs, social media. I can imagine what Nick Saban told those kids: give me your laptops, your tablets, and your cell phone. Stay away from social media this week. You'll get over it. You're a part of something special on one side. It's maybe not a part of history that you want to be a part of, but you are. Let's move on. They're going to go out here and try to prove to everybody else, I know that coach said we're not that good. We're down this year. Those players hear that shit. So I'm quite sure they want to stand up and make a statement and say, look, I deserve to be here too in the SEC playing for Bama, and I'm going to show you why, and here's why. Let's go. Mama, I'm on TV. That's your daddy's son type moment.
now, one key interesting thing, tidbits here, when I was going through my game notes prepared for this game here we're talking about right now, was Will Anderson's comment after the game on Saturday. I heard a lot of guys say, quote, this is from Will Anderson himself, Will Anderson Jr. from Alabama. We know this feeling. We know how to bounce back. So you got a team that knew a feeling of how to lose, but they know they can bounce back. Nick Saban hasn't lost back-to-back games in 182 games.
Carry to 1, move to 2, move to line. That's a long time. That's part of the winning pedigree. People say you got to learn how to win. You got to learn how to lose too. That may be an overused cliche, but that really is, as an athlete, as you were, and I was an athlete, that is a true fucking statement. You got to know how to win as well as know how to lose. Because if you don't handle winning well, you're definitely not going to handle losing well. Because when you don't know how to lose, bad things happen.
And then if y'all to look at this too, last year, the response with a dominant defense last year, Alabama – this time around, Alabama has held the Bulldogs to 300 total yards sacked. Will Rogers 7 times and intercepted him 3 times in his past few games there with against Alabama last year. We know this is two different teams this year. We got Mike Leach, who's got a 3-game winning streak, got snapped by number 19 Kentucky, which is number 22 right now. But the Bulldogs outgained Kentucky 478 to 225 yards.
See, I like Mike Leach. He can find positivity in something negative to motivate his team that no one else will get. No one else will get. But the way he talks to his players, and they understand him and his coaches, they get it. They get it. He's a very deep philosophical coach, which I admire. It's like that old Southern draw and old Western. He's that guy. This could be a situation that can take advantage of Bama being a quote-unquote down season, not my greatest class ever to have out here this year. Shut the hell up, Zabin. You lost. You put the wrong chess pieces on the board. That's all that happened. Happens to everybody. But in the words of Mississippi, they have – this is probably 5 out of 6 times they've come in a matchup with Bama where I think they have an opportunity to give Bama a hard time. They have the ability. They have the recruiting. For a minute, Mississippi State was winning the recruiting game in the South for a minute. Quiet as kept. They were winning it. Now they shifted to Georgia. But for a minute, Mississippi State was getting the upper hand. In the name of Dak, we trust. Yeah, in that way.
Yeah, and if you look at this too, if the referees want to throw flags, this is the game to throw flags. Because the referees could get plenty of chances to use those whistles. Alabama has been flagged more than 66 times than any other FBS team after committing a school record 17 against Tennessee. The Bulldogs ranked 119th, averaging 71 penalties yards per game. So you talking about a penalty-happy team thing? How long does this get? There is a prop bet. That's why I brought this up. There is a prop bet in this game. This game could take almost 4 hours to play today because of all these penalties calls.
Oh, I'm going to try to find a penalty bet out there. If I can find an over-under on the penalties, I want in on that action. If anybody has a link or a connection on that before tip-off, kickoff, hook a brother up on his birthday. Do your part, America. Do your part. I'm trying to lay some action on that.
I mean, if you look at this too, and then they got a label here, Rogers versus Young. Hendon Hooker last year, this year, he's in the trophy winner Young, and Hendon Booker thing. But now you got to turn your attention to Mississippi State, who is ranked 3rd nationally with 2,324 passing yards and 23 passing touchdowns, and Will Rogers at Mississippi State. Now you go from Hendon Booker to Will Rogers, and now you got to play against another strong arm. And we talk about Will Anderson. We talk about Will Anderson Jr. What kind of role can you roll your protection to him and then try to block everybody else one-on-one?
I think Bama's trying to stay out of that uh-oh moment. It's about to happen again. What's that, guys? Meaning we're about to lose this game. I don't think Bama wants that to happen. There's always that deja vu moment that happens in everybody's athletic career or life. Something happens in a game or a situation that takes you back when you lost. And you have to do whatever you have to do to get out of that damn moment. Bama does not want to get in that situation today, messing around with Mississippi State. But if I'm Mississippi State, I'm attacking Bama off the kickoff. I'm going at him right there. Matter of fact, I'm starting the game off with an onside kick if I'm Mississippi State. I'm starting the game off with an onside kick. Let's go.
Wow, you ready for this? Another instance tidbit about Alabama. Alabama defense didn't look like the number 1 nation best in giving up 52 points, the most allowed by Tennessee since a 54-4 loss to Swinney College in 1907.
About to say, who was alive then? I mean, what a stat to bring. 1907. You got to dig that deep.
The last time the defense gave up 54 points. Yep.
1907, guys. Well, guess what? 2022 is on the board. Congratulations. Because you did it. You did.
That streak, let's see here. 2000. You're talking about 115 years. Is the last time they allowed a team 54 points. 115 years.
Man, that's a lot of relatives.
And a key note to that is that fires up Will Anderson and his fellow defenders. So do you think Nick Saban brought that statistic up and say, hey, you just let a 115-year-old record be broken?
He probably put 115 everybody lock and had them figure out what it meant. That was their homework assignment for the week. You ever have a coach like that to give you something, and by the next time at practice, it's up to you to figure out what that message was or that haiku, what it meant. And it was meant to inspire you, to motivate you, to make you think, to get deep into your intelligence of the game you're playing. You never had a coach like that?
I had a coach like that. I had my old high school coach. Matter of fact, he did it a different way. He didn't put no statistics out. He made us go out to the football field, the new stadium that we had built. They had no seats in it. They only had bleachers. To count every space that a kid will sit down, and he knew how many people could fit in that stadium. So you couldn't cheat.
Wow, that's awesome.
And if you brought the wrong, and then the kid, you brought the wrong answer, you ran every seat in that stadium, and you counted until you had the right seat number.
Hey, exercise torches, motherfucker. I'm telling you.
But
get
anyway,
you in shape with discipline is something.
So who you got winning this game? I got Alabama winning. Who you got?
Roll Tide.
All right, Roll Tide as it is. All right, let's go. Boise State at Air Force. Who you got?
Boise State at who?
Air Force.
Boise State.
Ooh. I'm going to take the Air Force. I'm going to stick with military. Today's pick for me is military theme.
All military. All military on board. All president accounted for.
All right, Minnesota at Penn State. Number 16, Penn State. Who you got today? This is 7:30 on the ABC.
Whiteout party. It's going to be a whiteout party. Give me them Nittany Lions.
I'll take Penn State getting back on the winning track today. Texas A&M at South Carolina, playing at that stupid dirt stadium down in downtown Columbia, South Carolina. Who you got today?
That the Aggies against them Gamecocks?
Yeah, they put, according to the South Carolina people, this supposed to be the real Carolina, but which it ain't the real Carolina. We know who the real Carolina is. That's North Carolina. So the Gamecocks can get out of there with a little downtown stadium and no parking and no nothing, and no little Gamecock thing that you call a mascot. They can take that and go flush it down the toilet right now. That's how I feel about the Gamecocks, of South Carolina.
St. Louis and East St. Louis have their battles. But North Carolina and South Carolina, I swear, man, oh, my God, it is something else. You know what? Give me them Gamecocks, all because the cheerleaders were on their ass. We love our cocks.
I'm going to take Jimbo Fisher because he's got a lot of pressure on him. I think this is going to be a big win for Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M beat South Carolina and Frank Beamer's son. No Beamer ball today.
He had Bama and blew it. He had him and blew it.
All right, Universal Central Florida goes into East Carolina. Who you got today?
I want to drink with some people today. Let's go to the party people of America, that being ECU Pirates.
Yeah, I had a little bit of soft spot at ECU. They did try to recruit me, and then I lost all my scholarships with my injury. I had my 13th knee surgery, so I have a little bright spot in East Carolina there. I go with the party school too because it was a great time when I went down there to visit. Number of parties.
Movies.
All right, we're going to get back to that. We're going to finish it out, then we're going to take a break, and then we're going to break down the spotlight game of the day of this week for us. It's number 17, K-State, and number 8, TCU. Let's finish this out, and we'll take a quick break, and we'll talk about that game here in a few minutes. Colorado versus Oregon State. Who you got?
Oregon State.
I got Oregon State, too. Pittsburgh at Louisville. Who you got?
Louisville.
You got Louisville? I'm taking Pitt. I want Pitt to come in with a win so we have a better chance of beating them next week. Utah State at Wyoming. Who you got?
Give me Utah State.
Ooh, you're taking the big one, Utah State. I'm going to get Wyoming because they're playing in Laramie, Wyoming. So Washington will go into California at Berkeley. Who you got?
Give me Cal Berkeley, man. I like those tech kids, man. I love them.
I think Washington's going to bounce back. I give Washington on the win this time. San Diego State versus Nevada. Who you got?
Give me the Aztecs of San Diego State.
Yeah, give me Tony Wiggins' team too. So there you go. When we come back after these commercial breaks, we'll be breaking down the number 17 K-State at number 8 TCU. A big game. This game is at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. So we'll be right back on the All Sports All Plays Network. I am Ray and Dre. This is the College Breakdown. We'll be right back after these important messages.
All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so type the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
What did you say?
I said Kobe Bean Bryant has been overrated ever since he passed away.
Now, I'd say they could lose about 4, but I don't see them losing 5. You know what I mean?
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
This is the Fonx D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at fonxdnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the All Sports All Plays Network. I am Ray. I am Dre. This is the college breakdown on the All Sports All Plays Network. We're getting down to our spotlight of the game here, where we go in and we'll pick one team. We'll do the spotlight here. Number 17, K-State at number 8, TCU. I thought this would be a pretty good one because I want to give Adrian Martinez some props of his season that he has coming out of Nebraska the way he did and coming under Klein's tutelage at K-State, the offensive coordinator, Klein, who played at K-State. The game that broke Adrian Martinez out was against the Oklahoma Sooners, and he has now been playing great for K-State all the way up right now. Their big game, K-State is 3-0 in the Big 12. They're 5-1 overall. TCU comes in at 6-0 at number 8, 3-0 in the Big 12. What do we see in this game? How do we see TCU? This is playing at Almond G. Carter Stadium at Fort Worth, Texas. 76 degrees is the weather thing, so I got you set for that. Let's talk about this game here. This is going to be an interesting game here. We got a running quarterback. We got a team that's playing run style first, pass second in K-State against a TCU team who likes to run the ball and pass the ball. So
I like this worked out for Martinez. This could have been a disastrous situation with all that went down at Nebraska when you have talent and it's not going your way. That's the one good thing I like the portal. When the portal works out for the right reasons. I know there are people out there that are using it for manipulative reasons, but for the kids that are using it the right way, I like it and respect it. I like this matchup too as well. So I feel this could be like an even bigger day for him, for Martinez Day, even a much more bigger day today, being a really impactful player this weekend.
Yeah, if you look at this too, it's a concert of styles here. TCU likes to score points, 45.8 per game, but K-State likes to play defense, who only gives up 16.7 a game. What kind of defensive game plan do you do a high-power offense as TCU does?
When teams like that like to come out and they can score a lot of points, I kind of have the mentality, let them make a mistake. Have your plan in there. Have your plan in the place. For and foremost, if you believe in your run defense, you can hang in there. If you believe in your run defense, you can hang in there. Now, if that pass defense is like a D+, we're going to need some trouble. That's when I really got to talk to my special teams coach and say, hey, can we swap some players out? Is it skill set or is it speed that we're lacking in understanding the play that's coming in? Let us know. If you don't know what's going in, raise your hand. That way we can relieve you of your duties. Ain't no shame of you if you don't understand each and every play. It happens. But let your coaches know.
And then if you look at this, K-State's a little bit opposite than most teams. Usually your passing yards is more than your rushing yards. K-State is only 158.8 yards passing, but 244.5 yards rushing. So, but if you look on the other hand, TCU is a balanced offense, 297.5 yards passing to 229 yards, 0.2 rushing. So both teams can rush the ball on offense.
Yeah, they both can. They both can eat up some clock too as well, which needs to be paid attention. But also TCU, as you said, them 45 points they like there, they would throw that surprise deep ball on you in a minute in a 2nd and 3 situation. They would still try to go long on stretch the field on you on that 2nd and 3. And tackling will be the key on those one-on-one situations.
Yeah, and if you look at K-State only giving up 132.8 yards on defense to TCU is only giving up 135.2 yards on rush defense, but the passing defense, K-State is only giving up 221.7 yards on defense to 264.8 for TCU. So on that stat, you can look like you can throw the ball on TCU, but Aaron Martinez, he has been playing great football right now, and I'm going to tell you how we know he's playing great football.
How you know, Ray?
He has 86 completion to 138 for 900 yards, 4 touchdowns, but he has no picks, no interceptions, zero. That's how great he's been playing.
That's good. You want that.
He's not turning the ball over. He's not hurting the team at all in that aspect. Now, on the other hand, how do you get TCU's defense to turn this ball over, force turnovers, if he's been playing that great football? Because he's been running the ball and he's been passing the ball great. So how do you come up to cause him to make some turnovers in this ball game?
I would have, as my coaching staff, I would have done my homework, looked at every game, every play, every scenario. What hasn't he seen yet? I would go all the way back when the last time he threw a pick, what happened? Was it a tip at the line? Was it the receiver's fault, the running back fault? Or did he not? Did he really make a mistake? I would try to figure that out and then put that into the defensive game plan. But I like the fact that he has not thrown an interception. It keeps your defense on his toes. What is this kid doing right? Is he tucking it away at the right minute? Is he throwing the ball completely out of bounds where it's no way possible it can be an interception?
Now this is going to be this is what's at stake for these two teams. The winner takes over sole possession of first place in the Big 12 standings. TCU has already won 3 consecutive games over ranked teams for the first time in school history. And the last 2 have been matched up of undefeated teams, Kansas and Oklahoma State. Kansas State is coming off an opening date after a 10-9 win at Iowa State. Its 3rd win in a row since that unexpected loss to a Tulane team that is this week's moved into the AP Top 25 for the first time since 1998. The Wildcat has won 3 in a row over the Horned Frogs. That's a big significant right there. They have won 3 games over the Horned Frogs already. The key matchup today will be K-State's defensive flex, Uke Uzama, versus TCU offensive line. Yes. I just going to call him Felix. These guys got some names on them. I mean, dude, N-U, D-K, Uzo, Ma. That's his name.
That's why I don't want to do hockey, man. It's their names. As much as I love hockey, I can't do the names. I can't do the names.
Hey, look, I'm sorry for butchering people's names, but dude, his name is a tongue twister. It's Felix, Anu, Deke, Uzo, Ma. I had to break it in syllables to ask their names. Hey, at least I'm giving it a try,
Hey, you giving it a try, man.
His name is Felix Uga Uzma versus the TCU offensive line that has already only 3 sacks in 3 big games. The 6'4", 255-pound true junior is a tie for the National League of 1.0 sacks per game, 6.5 total. He had a career high 4 sacks against the Horned Frogs last season. So the Horned Frogs knows about him. They might know how to pronounce his name better than me, but they know about him.
Felix, get him. I'm laughing way too much on my birthday, man. Way too much.
At least I'm making you laugh, so that's a good thing. Laughing is always they always say if you laugh enough, it makes you stay healthier. So
My bartender's here. Got my chef here. Everything's going fine. Yeah.
Oh, you got a chef?
server. Yeah. It's going fine.
Man, dude, you must be making some. You may be making some dough.
I'm making the right decisions, Ray. Making the right decisions. Yeah. Keep it in my lane. You got a cocktail going too, huh?
No.
Right.
Yeah, I got a Coke. I got a flat Coke and some water.
I got some orange juice and some vodka.
I ain't got none of that because I don't have that money yet. I'm trying to get rich. I ain't got that kind of money yet. I can't keep buying alcohol and all that stuff.
I don't buy alcohol. I make my own.
Oh, you make your own? Oh. See, that's why you got all kinds of money. You're making your own stuff. I heard somebody making moonshine and stuff like that, but darn, you're making your own liquor now?
I miss Carolina because of that, man. When I lived down in Mooresville, shout out, in Charlotte, shout out, I had my moonshine, people, man. I miss it down there. When I went down there last July of 2020, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Moonshine. Good stuff. Like that apple. Corn's okay, but I like that apple.
Yeah, I mean, hold on a second. Somebody asked me a question.
In Florida.
Yep. Not like Carolinas.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear right there. Which game we got up next?
This is the last game right here. We're still talking about a little bit more. I got a little bit more to ask you about. Now I can pronounce these two names. Andre Martinez versus Deuce Vaughn are the only quarterback running back combo in the country to have more than 500 yards rushing. Martinez is a dual threat quarterback with 546 yards and 9 rushing touchdowns, while Vaughn is 661 yards and 3 TDs. So now you got a double trouble in the backfield. Who you got? Which one do you need to take away? Really?
Martinez is hot right now. He's hot as firecracker right now. So you want to try to limit him right now. You want to try to settle the storm there. But also, what's about to get hot is coming too when you got somebody that is hot. So it's kind of, you're putting yourself in a sticky situation. It's kind of hard to say stick to the game plan, kids, and coach. But what about this scenario? And that's when the people upstairs in the box do their job better. I would love to be affiliated with somebody in the box. I want to hear the people in the box and the sideline. I want to pay for that. I really want to know what's going on. Why is the communication? What's going on?
But then,
who was that lost the game? I want to know it in the pro level as well as in the collegiate level. I want to be able to pay to hear what the coach is saying to each other. Damn, what you cooking for dinner? What your side chick and your dude did last night. I don't care about none of that. Just the football facts is all I want to hear.
Yeah, and if you look at it too, TCU's other key player to watch for is TCU's Quentin Johnson. Follows up his career high 14 catches, 206 yards performance against Kansas with eight catches for 180 yards, and against Oklahoma State last week. He had a TD catch in both games. Johnson leads the Horned Frogs with 634 yards receiving last season and now has 500 midway through this junior season. So now the other end, how does K-State's offense tailor their coverage to stop Quentin Johnson?
That focusing on one player days has stopped since the days of Desmond Tutu Howard. Those days are over. You can't if you focus your defense on one player, you will lose. You will lose. You got to keep the game plan at hands. We know he's a special person. Okay, Coach, I got you on that. But I don't want to put all my attention over there. Because what about Chris? What about Alex? What about those guys? They're ready to have their breakout moment too. We put all our attention over here. I wouldn't mind having a spy on the situation for the game. I'm okay with that, but I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to overdo the situation and get beat by me overcoaching the situation.
All right, and then another key note here. This is an interesting tidbit here on this too. TCU running back Kendra Miller has rushing TDs in all 6 games. His 7th game streak is tied for the second longest in school history behind, guess who? LaDainian Tomlinson with 15 in a row from 1999 to 2000. So, K-State's defense has only given up 16.7 points per game, 355 total yards on defense, while forcing 9 interceptions. TCU is second nationally, gaining of 7.7 yards per play, while ranking 3rd in scoring offense, 45.8 points, and total offense of 526 yards. This is the first time since the end of the 2012 season that TCU plays 4 consecutive top 25 teams. So we know now is TCU the top 25 team killer. We have seen it the last 3 weeks. Now this is another top 25 team coming in who's been playing very well. These other 2 teams that have played K-State so far this year, played TCU, has come in playing very well too. But TCU has taken their best shot and ends up winning at the end. Who wins this ball game today?
What's the over/under in this matchup, sir?
You really want to know the over and under in this matchup?
Yes.
Are you going to bet on this? My question is, are you going to bet on this game?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
54.5 is the over and under in this ball game.
Show me the money, daddy. Show me the money, daddy.
Both teams plays great defense. Both teams only giving up 16.7 for K-State and 26.5 for TCU.
In the words of my man, Michael Bishop, shout out, former K-State quarterback and former New England Patriot that played with my former high school classmate, James Gregory, that went to the University of Alabama, that won the national championship with Gene Stallings. Follow along if you know. So I'm going to go with K-State.
You're going with K-State. Aaron Martinez keeps it going. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
I'm going to agree with that. I'm a big Aaron Martinez fan, man. Scott Frost really did him wrong at Nebraska.
Why are we talking about Scott Frost? Why?
Because his name is going to probably be big pretty soon when Nick Saban decides to call him up.
He going to fuck that up down there. No. He's too young for that. That's too much responsibility.
Hey, but Nick Saban has the mantra of grabbing coaches that got fired from big institutions. Look what he did with Steve Sarkisian. Look what he did with with Lane Kiffin. Is Scott Frost the next one in line?
When Steve messed up everything, when Steve ruined the plug in USC, don't get me started on that. When Steve and the old quarterback for the LA Rams back in the day ruined that whole thing at USC. That's why USC disappeared for 10 damn years? And now they're back in the conversation. So Steve had to go. But Scott, no. He need to sit down a little lower than that. He's not ready for that action yet, boss. No. He ruined a great thing at Nebraska, and I'm mad at him for that. I'm mad like this at him.
All right, we got about 2 minutes and about 15 seconds before kickoff time here. Let's get your final thoughts. What games are you going to look forward to watching today?
I want to see this UCLA, West Virginia game. I want to see this Notre Dame game. And I definitely, for one of all my life, got to figure out why everybody has Clemson up so high. I got to watch that game.
I'm going to go the same route with you. I want to watch the Clemson game. I want to see them play Syracuse and say my team is not playing, so I got to pick some games to watch today. I'm going to watch UCLA and Oregon game. I want to see Chip Kelly go back. I want to see what Oregon Stadium does. If they cheer for him, I'll boo him out of the stadium. But what he did at, Oregon too. So you got to be one of two ways. Whether I'll be happy to see him this time. They did it the first time. They gave him cheers. So now the next 2 times, this could be the boost sections. So I want to see that happening. Also, I am intrigued of the Mississippi State and Alabama game. I want to see how Alabama does come back from the hands of defeat. So I want to see that. But the smaller games I want to see is the James Madison game and who they playing? I think they're playing
Well,
Yeah, I want to see that. I want the James Madison game. I want to see. Oh, they playing on Marshall. I want to see that game too. See how they play. So, oh yeah. Let me hold up. Leave it right now. We'll bring it up here. There you go. If you want to listen to the man here, just scan that code right there. Just scan that code. I will put it in there for you. Got it nice and big for you, Dre. Who to blame podcast? Who to blame the podcast? There you go, man. That's right there. I'm gonna have to join that show one day. You know.
I gotta get you on. It's birthday weekend. It's birthday day. Today's the birthday. Got a little get together at Friendly's, one of my sponsors on my show here in St. Louis at 3503 Roger Place. So I will be there at 3:00 today. It's been I still don't believe it's 52 years old. I still don't believe that, Mom and Dad. But thank you again to my mom and dad. Thank you for what you did in January 1970. It was awesome. It's 9 years later, 9 months later, boom.
Dude, you're the same age as my sister. My sister will be turning 52 on December 9th of this year.
December 9th. That's my cousin's Lori birthday as well.
Yeah. My sister will be turning 52. I'll be turning 51 in June. So
one day you'll catch us.
I ain't gonna catch it. I won't catch it unless we all go to heaven, you know. Because they said the age stops once you reach heaven, you know.
I know, man. I tell you what a fantastic show we've been having the past few weeks. Not saying they all have not been fun, but the comments and the likes that I've been getting on my end have been phenomenal. So I want to thank all the people that have been liking the show and tuning in here in my region of 8 a.m. Central Standard Time on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 11 up to kickoff. So I appreciate you guys for that.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Dre, and let me wear your hairstyle here. You know, it's kind of awesome. It's a little warm though, but it's okay though.
You see, to wear natural hair, I'm telling you, it's all about the weather. You know, this is no prop. This is the real deal up under. This is the real deal. This is actual natural hair. I mean, no chemicals, just juices and berries. That's it. And shout out to my barber. We just celebrated our 20 years. John Shack, my man, 20 years been my hair technician and my barber. I've only had 3 barbers my entire life, believe it or not. 3.
Well, you know, my barber's getting too expensive, so I had to go with the raised special. Take it all off.
Bring me back in the window. Bring me back in the window. I can't see you.
Bring it all ball, baby.
I can't see you.
You can't see me?
Out the camera. Yeah, you took me out of the caption.
Oh, hold on.
There it is.
Right there. All but ball, baby.
Hey, that's the hat special. I will be selling. Put that hat back on. So that's the hat I'll be selling on my website. That's that Trey Montez hat you kids will be having right there. Great for a holiday stocking stuffer, by the way.
Right. I am the poster boy for it. See, I am the poster boy. See, you see what it looks like right there? But if you always want to see what's on the other side of the white chocolate, there you go. You see it right now. You see what the hairstyle looks like on a white chocolate man, you know.
White chocolate man. I like it. whitechocolatman.org. Let's turn this into a not-for-profit.
Hey, look, you know, look at this. You got the dark chocolate and you got the white chocolate right all on one screen.
Sexy chocolate. Mic drop moment. But I'm excited.
There you go. If you ever want to see what Dre's hair looks like on another man, there you go. You see it right there.
Hey, I get to kick it with my son and my dad today. That's gonna be pretty damn cool to me. Pretty cool, right there.
When you go with your son and your dad, you always say you want to see what my hairstyle looks like somebody else. Bring up this video. You show it to them.
My dad's bald by choice. By choice.
Mine too.
He was getting a hole in the roof, getting that sunroof, that moon roof. He just went on and just took it on off. My son used to have braids. And then my Dre Jr., he is bald by choice. He used to have long hair.
Yeah.
My youngest, Tim, he's never really let his hair grow out. So he keeps it low by choice.
Yeah, I'm bald. I'm bald by
hair to the floor.
I'm bald by choice because I got a head full of hair. If I let it grow out, I look like Incredible Hulk.
This make you mad. For 2 years, I used to shave my head.
Hey, dude. Hey, if I let my hair grow out, probably about 2 to 3 months, I could probably have about the same head of hair you got.
You want to challenge that? You want to do that for No Shave November? Let's do it.
Nah, I would, but
let's see how long your hair can get without shaving for the whole month of November. Let's do it.
All right, I'll shave it all off today, and then I'll let it start growing next week. How about that?
Got you. And I got a phenomenal. I gotta send you an idea I have for a charity on your end to do. I have a phenomenal idea that we got to collab on.
We'll bring it up. Bring it up. We'll talk about it.
Got you.
I'm an easygoing person. I like to have fun.
Hey, so do I. Hey.
So if somebody asks me why my hair's growing like this, I just say no shave November is a challenge. You know?
I've been Dre. I got the Dre Montez going on today. I got the Dre Montez.
It's gonna be hot though. I want to tell you, my head is thick. I got thick hair.
So to prove to you people, this is my real hair. So look, this is my real hair. I just wear a visor because when I played competitive softball, I didn't want to wear a full hat. So I'm like, Coach, give me a visor.
Yeah, I will grow my hair out for you for a whole month. Not shaving.
Oh man.
To show you what I look like. My wife ain't gonna like it because I look like the Incredible Hulk. I'm gonna tell you straight out. I'll look like Lou Ferrigno.
One of my good friends, he's a hairy dude. Like he shaves 3 times a day. I mean, this dude has hair in places no human should have hair. I'm like, you have hair there too? No.
But yeah. So, I mean, we got our games on up. Kickoff has already started here. So let's get moving here. Dre's been good with you. You have a good birthday. Happy birthday, my man. Thanks for the hat. I wore it, but my dude didn't show up for the 1,000 stars. So, you know, I lit up to my end. Let's see if he leads up to his end. So hopefully eventually we'll get
maybe he'll look at it later and come back in and be like, okay, my bad, fellas. But it's the birthday. See you guys at 3 o'clock at Friendly's in South City, 3503 Roger Place. We're gonna get it.
So for the birthday boy, Dark Chocolate, this is the White Chocolate Ray and Dre. This is the College Breakdown Show on the All Sports All Place Network, and we're gonna go ahead and patent that down. You know, the White Chocolate and the Dark Chocolate. You know,
I'm not dark. Give me mocha. Give me mocha chocolate.
All right, mocha chocolate and the white chocolate. You know,
give me mocha Montez chocolate. Montez.
There you go. There you go. We're gonna change your name to Mocha.
Give me that mocha Montez. Mocha Montez.
A little bit of caramel on it, you know.
Just a little bit. Just give me that mocha Montez.
There you go. I'll put that up real quick there. There you go. You can go ahead and take your picture. He made it easy. Got a QDR code for it. So, you know.
Get on in there. Check your boy out sometimes. There it is right there. All kind of information on that for you.
You can catch him on his podcast, Who's to Blame podcast. You can catch me on Jag Nation. You can catch me on the College Breakdown, All Sports All Place College Breakdown Show. You can catch me on the Monday morning show, the All Sports All Play in the Morning show. You can catch me there. You can catch me on the Wrestling Hour on the All Sports All Place Network. I am here with you. I am bringing it live. We bring in college football. Let's see. Join us next week and see what how much points Dre catch back up on me. Will it be a game at the end, or will I be pulling away again? Join us next week on the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown Show.
On the phone.
Everybody, have a great night and watch some college football. Peace out,
money,
brother.
People. LGB, go Blues.
All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All Sports All Plays.